Let's just go ahead and get through this Players Connect screen and we'll start it out. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to some RD2L Season 12 quarterfinals. We have Free Agent Gamer Stack versus Enigma Stole Our Bikes. Badger, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. We have some great non-provocative team names right here.
Oh yeah,
good stuff from the RD2L.
Very creative team names, and not going to offend anyone. So out of the gate, we see a Monkey King ban, followed up by Beastmaster Lich ban from Free Agent Gamer Stack. Don't want to mess with that. And Necrophos banned out from Enigma. Is Necro really still that good?
I don't think Necro is as good as last patch, but I think Necro is surviving the nerfs better than heroes like Venomizer or Bug Nowhere, if you're asking that.
Yeah, they did hit him with a lot of nerfs, but yeah, Beastmaster, a very scary offlaner this patch. It just takes towers. Takes names, takes towers, kicking ass all day. You summon an extra beast.
There's already a mark for one game won by Free Agent Gamer Stack. That is a mistake on their end.
Okay.
There should not be one win allocated to the diary yet. This is 0 games to 0 right now.
How did that happen? Ooh, Spirit Breaker picked up for Free Agent Gamers.
That's an RD2L classic right there.
Yeah.
It has lost a bit of pick rate in the North American region, but in Europe it still is a top tier pick. And it's still a very good force support, so it makes a lot of sense to see Spirit Breaker in this RD2L playoff match.
Yeah, keep pressure on a lot of lanes, pick up bounty runes on your way. The mad cow disease is still here to stay, man. Alright, Jakiro. Very versatile hero, picked up for Enigma, followed up by Undying. Huh, what do you feel about Undying this patch?
I know that certain analyst figures, such as Grand Grant, are very hard against Undying, but I think Undying's a pretty good hero. Undying's the sort of hero that's very good in the first 10 to 15 minutes, and a lot of what is decided in the current Dota game is the lane situation in the first 10 to 15 minutes. This comes down to when you're playing these Undying lineups, if you in the lanes, you need to be able to convert it into, say, a tier 2 tower and good map vision, and not just sit on your laurels in that sense.
Now, Undying is picked up what I assume is an offlaner, but do you think it's hinting at maybe like a weird laning scenario for Enigma where they try to go to like a 3v3, like aiming at a 3v3 lane? Or how do you feel that Undying pick works out?
I think Undying is most likely going to be their force support, and I think if you're playing with an Undying team, you want to force the tri-lane for the tri-lane situation. Right now, Jakiro and Undying can be 2 of your members in the tri-lane. You almost know that Free Agent Gamer Stack is going to put the Earthshaker in the offlane, the Spirit Breaker in the support role. So you just need to get like a solo safe lane type hero who can lane 1v1 against Shaker well, which means you probably need like a long range type hero, maybe Mirana, but I guess Mirana Shaker isn't that good, so they'll have to think about what hero that can lane 1v1 versus Shaker. And otherwise, you run the Jakiro, the Undying +1 into the Free Agent Gamer Stack safe lane, and that's the lane that's very likely to win. It's a very easy tri-lane to win in that sense.
Yeah, no surprise, Shaker's still a really good hero. Do you think it's Free Agent's offlaner? Because Spirit Breaker or Earthshaker seems like kind of a greedy support duo.
Earthshaker's definitely offlaner, I think.
Okay, fair enough.
I think, if we were talking about the potential of an aggro tri-lane with the Undying, Earthshaker, Spirit Breaker, plus literally any hero in the game would not do well against Undying, Jakiro, and literally any hero in the game.
Fair enough, fair enough. So Razor banned out, Medusa, Phantom Assassin, Antimage. Antimage, very strong hero this patch if the Chinese are to be believed. Do you feel Antimage is particularly good?
I don't think he's as good before this before the 7.07B hotfix. That said, I think Antimage is still a pretty good carry. I think Chaos Knight happens to be an overall more effective carry, but Antimage is a very, very strong hero, very mobile, and very annoying right now.
Ooh, Sand King. We have a lot of team fight for both teams already. Should be an exciting match. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I like that Free Agent, they responded to the Antimage ban with a Medusa ban. And that seems very apropos, so let's go ahead and see what else they decide to pick up.
If you're Free Agent Gamer Stack, you need to be definitely very worried of the aggro tri-lane, because Sand King versus Earthshaker is fine for the Sand King, and Undying Jakiro +1 is very deadly. I think with the Medusa ban, they almost kind of want to pick up a Chaos Knights, as Medusa is one of the best CK counters in the game. but I'm not sure how effective CK is going to be in that laning situation. It's
Mhm.
kind of a hard situation to draft right now if you're on the Dire. I'm actually very curious as to what they go for direction-wise.
Yeah, you
If I
definitely
pick a classic
don't want a
well.
solo lane of Earthshaker versus Sand King just because Caustic Finale can be really brutal. Because Earthshaker just has to go in with Enchant Totem to get those last hits. And if he's taking a lot of damage in the process, like, he has Fissure, but Sand King can catch up to him with Burrow Strike. So we do see the Disruptor as the 5 role for Free Agent Gamer, and I like that a lot. You know, gives you a lot of control over the team fights, and Glimpse can be a huge player against heroes like Sand King. So, yeah, definitely an interesting pick, and it allows Free Agent to hold their cards in terms of what mid laner and safe laner they go for. So, very solid pickup.
So, right now, if you're Enigmas, you guys have the last pick, and right now, last pick is considered very good in the current meta of drafting. But you do have to give away either your mid or your carry right now before Free Agent Gamer Stack pick both of them. So in a sense, you need to pick whichever one of those cores is less counterable. If you pick a hero like, say, Meepo, for example, who's very counterable, that's pretty bad because Free Agent Gamer Stack have a lot. They still have the opportunity to counter it. But if you pick a more ambiguous, more versatile hero, Mirana comes to mind as a very versatile, ambiguous hero, then it's a lot harder for Free Agent Gamer Stack to particularly counter it.
Now, on the flip side, Enigma, they're fairly certain this Earthshaker is an offlaner now, so they can kind of act appropriately.
There's the outside chance they run the Earthshaker as a mid lane, Sumail style, but it's very rare to see that, and I don't think Earthshaker is the best matchup against a lot of the middle laners right now.
Yeah, and it's a little bit hard to pull off. Of course, like a mid lane Earthshaker, you're looking to fight early, and that's going to force Free Agent into a different style of draft. Bloodseeker. Alright, so Bloodseeker obviously very good against Spearbreaker, an independent laner as well, so still gives Enigma a lot of flexibility.
10 seconds remaining.
This is, I mean, right now, when you're, it's really hard to draft in this current patch. As somebody who drafts myself, this is very, very hard to draft. Because right now, if you're Free Agent Gamer Tech, it's almost as if you're backed into a corner, and there's really no easy way out of this right now. And because it's so important in Dota, it seems like a lot of the games decided right here on this 4th and 5th pick, and it's hard to do this, and I'm curious as to what kind of comfort-type heroes or counter-type heroes they go for here.
It's interesting you mentioned that because, you know, I was just hearing Fear speak yesterday that he actually likes this draft format a lot because having 3 bans, like when you know you're, like in the first phase, when you know your opponent, like that can just help you curve it into different types of strategies, and you're giving a lot less open for your opponent. Like if they have their mindset on what they want to play, you can just decline them, deny them that choice. And so I think it leads to a little bit more interesting options picked out. So I kind of like the additional ban in the first phase so far. I think it's pretty interesting.
Radiant team ban.
I like it.
Oh, there's the Chaos Knight. The damage
I was saying
is
they might
coming.
watch this earlier. They almost drafted in the way that they're going to pick up Chaos Knight. This isn't a very easy CK game. There is a good bit of AoE stun on the Enigma Stellar Bike side in the form of Sand King and Jakiro.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that is good is Medusa is banned out. In Medusa Chaos Knight is a very, very one-sided matchup in favor of Medusa because of Medusa Aghanim Scepter. So at the very least, that is not an option for Enigma Stellar Bikes. Regardless, though, if they pick a pretty good anti-AoE carry, they're going to have 2 solid AoE stunners and then an anti-AoE carry. That should negate the impact of CK's Phantasm. That said, I like CK and what he provides with the early game Reality Rift, with the early game Chaos Bolt, and the ability to be very relevant with, say, just Armlet and Echo Saber, or even just lessen that item-wise.
And Sniper banned out. I feel like with, you know, Disruptor and Chaos Knight, are you really that afraid of a Sniper? You have a lot to get on top of him. You know, Spearbreaker, Disruptor, Earthshaker, CK, Queen of Pain. Does Enigma, do they just have a really good sniper player?
Yeah, they might have to, I mean, these guys are both EST Monday divisional teams, so they likely, we've casted Free Agent Gamer Stack, we have not casted Enigma Stellar Bikes, so they're likely a lot more familiar with the preferences of this Radiant team than we are. That said, looking at Queen of Pain now, this is a very explosive, high-tempo middle laner. It's a very high skill hero. So if this Queen of Pain player, which likely will be, was it Potato Farmer who played mid for them? Because he was playing Troll Warlord last series in the safe lane.
I want to say Potato Farmer is their safe laner. Yeah.
Regardless, though, this is sort of hero where it's a very high skill hero, and you have a lot of room to outplay your opponent, assuming the enemy mid laner isn't the sort of hero that's going to absolutely dumpster you. And since heroes like Viper and Pucker,
Outworld Devourer. Now that's a nice pick. Arcane Orb is still really strong against illusions, right?
Oh yeah. Right now, it's Arcane Orb versus illusions is a very hard matchup for the illusions. I believe it's 400 extra damage, and since illusions take more damage, it's kind of a rough day for illusions.
The main thing, I guess, for Enigma is that, you know, their best, like, frontliner is Undying, who, I mean, if he has levels, he can do that fairly effectively, but Undying is most likely, you know, their 4 role, so he might be hurting for XP if the laning phase doesn't go well. But if Enigma can take a hold of the laning phase, I think they can do a good job fighting against Free Agent Gamer, but Free Agent Gamer stack, their lineup is just so effective and easy to execute. Like, they also have a lot of catch-up with their lineup, I feel. Like, you have a lot to turn around a fight, you know, with Earthshaker, Disruptor, and Queen of Pain's damage. Yeah, I mean, personally, I think I have to give this draft to Free Agent Gamer stack. I feel like their draft is a little bit more solid.
I overall think the Enigma Stolar Bikes lineup is better. I think they both have the better lane situation. I think they have the better heroes in the lane. And in addition to that, I think there's certain items you can get up against this lineup, such as BKB on Bloodseeker and BKB on OD. They give you a huge power spike in the way that no other item can really do for the Dire team. I mean, items like Blink on Shaker is nice, but I don't think they'll have the exact same impact as, say, BKB, Blink on OD.
It will be an exciting game for sure, so let's go ahead and introduce our teams. Over here on Enigma Stole Our Bike, we have Shoeless Joe on the Jakiro, we have Zelfer on the Sand King, we have Riles on the Outworld Devourer, and Oblivion Knight on the Bloodseeker, and finally Hype on the Undying, and they are going for a 4-man invade. Dire team looking for that 5-man. Who we got over on Dire?
We got Potato Farmer on the Chaos Knight. We got Nerf Bubbles on the Queen of Pain. We have a Bober on the Spirit Breaker. We have Zap on the offlane Earthshaker. And finally, Blood Ninja on the support Disruptor.
Alright, sounds good. So, looks like they're fairly rehearsed at this. They do have a smoke on Obabor. And Oblivion Knight could be in trouble here, but he's hiding well behind the T1.
This is very frequent. With the amount of times that the enemy team is going to invade your safe lane, both teams at this point are just going to the point where they're invading the enemy safe lane. At this point, it's not very safe to be in your safe lane anymore. There will be heroes coming for you and taking your room.
Oh no, Oblivion Knight, be careful. Throws out some pings.
I believe Dire saw him. They definitely do now.
The battle begins.
Are they going to try to bait out the bounty rune?
Bloodseeker knows. Bloodseeker knows. There's no way he doesn't.
He's being careful.
You see absolutely nobody at the opposing safe lane, you know they have to be invading. There's nowhere else in the map they can be.
And so we see with the free TPs, Nerf Bubble goes ahead, TP's back to the mid lane. And Block not quite as good as Riles, so we'll be at a slight disadvantage in this mid lane. Shoeless Joe is there to back up the OD. And we see an aggressive try from Free Agent Gamers. They want to punish this Bloodseeker.
Oh yeah, I like this. I didn't expect the Radiant team to put so little emphasis on their safe lane.
Here goes the Chaos Bolt. Charges well, but he's not caught in the static field, so Oblivion Knight will be fine. Retreats to the safety of the tower. But up top, you have your Earthshaker against a Sand King, which that is a pretty nightmare result. And also, you have 3 heroes fighting into an Undying. So this is definitely interesting. They're going to have to do musical lanes. Yeah, Potato Farmer goes back up top.
The Dire, they're dodging. It's good that they're dodging here. They should not be laning against the Undying like that. You are absolutely right. Shaker needs to be careful. Never mind, Shaker's fine.
Yeah, Shaker's fine. Zelfer is kind of low, so he'll have to be careful. There is a Mango on Chaos Knight, so Potato Farmer can deal a lot of damage with Chaos Bolt. And once he gets level 2, Rift is a real concern as well. In fact, we already see a charge coming out from Spirit Breaker. Potato Farmer does have Rift available. Sand King with only level 1 Burrow Strike. There's not a whole lot of range, so if Earthshaker comes around, this could be our first blood. So charge will come out. Potato Farmer looking to get that Rift. We'll go ahead and throw out a Chaos Bolt. And do we have the Fissure? Looks like he's going to save Rift in case Sand King goes for that Burrow Strike. And he's not going to go for it. He's just going to fall. And we see the Disruptor come over as well. So Free Agent Gamer, they get first blood, but that does leave bot lane unoccupied. So Zap's going to go ahead and TP down bot. Earthshaker versus Bloodseeker lane, definitely a little bit more favorable than against a Sand King.
Both offlaners are definitely suffering right now the way this game is going.
Oh, but here comes the Undying Burrow Strike onto Blood Ninja, and he's going to fall, so there's your trade immediately, and Zelfer will be able to get out just fine. A Bobert taking some damage, but should be good. Now, once Undying, once he has Tombstone skilled, and there goes the Burrow Strike, but they are kind of trapped in the trees. A Bobert going to go ahead and try to charge out, but dies the Caustic Finale. Rift back on Sand King, and down he goes. Oh, nice play from the Undying, saving his Sand King's life. I was actually a little bit more healed than I expected. Did he eat a Fairy Fire too?
Yeah, use a salve temporarily.
Oh, salve temporarily.
Health.
I was like, that's a little bit more health than I would expect from like a Soul Rip, so fairly well done from the Undying for sure. Sand King gets out alive, and they get a nice kill on the Spirit Breaker. Bober going to go ahead and charge out this Jakiro. Now he's caught in between 3 heroes. Just going to go ahead and throw out a dual breath onto Disruptor. Try to back off, but Rift says nah. And Potato Farmer with another pickup. Actually, it goes the way of the Spirit Breaker. Never mind. So over here in the mid lane, OD with the much better block is leading in last hits. And that's a little tough for Nerf Bubbles.
OD needs more regen right now. He's winning the lane so far, but the problem is Queen of Pain's a full set of tangos and full HP. OD is around 40% HP with only a set of tangos. He needs probably a salve. Does he have one on the courier? He needs a salve in the courier. Good play from him there.
Yeah, so there is a salve coming out. More regen for him. We have so much excitement all across the map. I got to point out Oblivion Knight versus Zap. Oblivion Knight actually has a lot of thirst going on. In the mid lane, there is a charge coming out on Riles. And Dagger as well on the bash back. That's a nightmare scenario. And Riles going to go ahead, Fairy Fire up, try to escape. And Dual Breath misses from Jakiro. Will OD actually live this? He is dropping rather low, but does have that Tango online. Looks like, yep, he's going to live. Going to go ahead and salve up. Bober dropping a little low, but just going to back off. Oblivion Knight's actually having a rough time, just trying to find some regen from these creeps, but taking way too much damage. Here comes Zap with Enchant Totem, and there we go. Slays the Bloodseeker, so well played from that Earthshaker.
Earthshaker Bloodseeker sounds pretty fun for Earthshaker. Bloodseeker can't really do that much in that matchup. Enchant Totem on Shaker has a lot of value. I'm very happy he's getting more points than that versus points in Fissure and Aftershock. Yeah,
I'm actually surprised because Oblivion Knight does have a lot of thirst stacks going on from this dual lane up top where you have a Burrow Strike onto Disruptor, followed up by your Tombstone. He's going to be slowed down, but throws out a Static Field. That's going to save him for a while. We have a charge coming out onto Zelfer. Potato Farmer just going to go ahead, back off. He's going to make a pit stop in the mid lane. Nope, he's just going to keep on charging top. That's going to be spotted out by Riles, though, so this is going to alert Radiant's off lane, so just get back for the time being. You don't really want to fight against the Spear Breaker. In fact, he's just going to go ahead, cancel out his charge, and Hype's just going to go ahead and taunt up. Shoeless Joe in the mid lane, just trying to give OD a little bit more room. OD does have over half a level on this Queen of Pain, so very impressive from him. I think it ultimately just goes back to the nice block he had early on, just able to assert dominance over this mid lane.
OD Queen of Pain generally goes slightly in favor of OD as well. It's a slightly favorable matchup for him.
Oh, Bober trying to fight back Hype, but Hype is level 4, so takes a good bit of damage. Just going to go ahead and charge the Jakiro down bot, who is slain by the Enchant Totem. So nice rotation there from Blood Ninja, and Zap, he's looking pretty fat right now. Has 2 kills. He's doing well for an offlane Earthshaker.
Yeah, we've seen it in the previous series that Zap on Earthshaker is very, very scary. It looks like this game he will once again be a very huge force to deal with. At the rate he's farming, he already has treads, and he's already on the way to a fast blink dagger. It'll be very, very hard to deal with.
Now, Chaos Knight, Potato Farmer, he's level 6, so doing pretty well for him. Good amount of last hits at the moment. Of course, Bloodseeker is currently leading in that regard. We do have a charge onto OD. There is a lot of pings thrown out, so Nerf Bubbles with Sonic Wave online. Ryle's just going to go ahead, salve up. That's canceled. He goes ahead, banishes the Queen of Pain. Just trying to get back. Do we have any bashes from Otherwhere? He's taking a lot of damage from this T1, but we'll find the kill on the OD. Just going to go ahead and wand up, but he'll die as well to that tower. So, I mean, that's nice. You kill the OD first, but it did cost you Sonic Wave and the life of the Spirit Breaker.
I think it's worth it. If you're committing Sonic Wave at this stage in the game, you're not going to really be using it that much for huge team fights anyways, because big team fights generally don't happen at minute 7 or minute 8s. You might as well get it for a
Ooh, Ice Path connects onto 2. Zap trying to fight back, but Oblivion Knight takes him out, and now with all that thirst is able to run down the Disruptor. 2 kills for the Jakiro. So Jakiro really happy right now. Shoeless Joe able to find some XP, grab his level 4, almost at 5. Up top, Potato Farmer kind of forced into the trees. This Undying is just a little bit scary.
He's
Sand
a
King,
2
only
stack
level
of decay on
4.
him as well. That's scary.
Yeah, especially as a strength hero. He's just does not want to put up with that at the moment. A lot of action going down in the bot lane. We have Zap and the Spirit Breaker. They're going to go ahead and ping out the Jakiro, who just found a bounty rune and is level 5. Potato Farmer going to go ahead and rift in the Sand King, just trying to get some harass done. But with no supports backing him up, it's going to be hard for him. See, Even Fine Farm just taking way too much from this decay.
Moving over from, is there a charge top lane? There's a charge top lane.
Yeah, onto the Sand King. See, is the Spirit Breaker bringing detection with him? No, he's not. So Sand King will be hard because he will have Sandstorm available shortly. Potato Farmer just going to go ahead and throw out a Chaos Bull. A Bober's there, and they're able to stack the stuns perfectly. So down he goes. Soul Rip onto the Tombstone, but doesn't save it. That's a nice bit of gold going the way of Dire, and they're going to go ahead and get a nice glimpse back in, followed by a Rift. Ice Path will come out from the Jakiro, trying to keep this Undying alive, but not today. Another Rift back into Shoeless Joe. Will this be the 3rd death up top? Looking a lot like it. And down he goes to the Disruptor, and that's just an absolute nightmare for Radiant Team.
Yeah,
and a Fissure down bot onto Oblivion Knight. Does it end? Now Zap looking for that Enchant Totem. He will find it. 4 kills in a very short period of time. And Free Agent Gamerstack, they are looking high and mighty right now.
Yeah, but despite all these good kills, they're not up by even 1,000 gold. The net worth is doing pretty well because these Radiant cores are doing a better job overall of CSing compared to their Dire counterparts. So despite the Dire heroes having more kills, the Radiant heroes are doing alright right now. They're doing a very good job of actually getting lane farm.
Yeah, and if we actually take a look at hero levels, it's not like Dire's actually behind on their supports for the most part. But you do have a pretty big discrepancy between the Earthshaker and the Undying and Sand King. Earthshaker level 7, Undying and Sand King still don't have their ultimates yet.
OD has an Arcane Rune and Sanity's Eclipse. Disruptor might Dire.
Yeah, it's a good time to drop the hammer, but there are 3 heroes from Dire in this mid lane as well. And Charge is going to come out. I think it's canceled.
It was canceled, yeah.
So not looking to fight this. Possibly they saw hype on the high ground, maybe.
I believe they saw the Undying, yeah.
Yeah, so a Bober just going to go ahead, back off. Does not want to fight into Tombstone. And Potato Farmer right now living up to his name, just trying to catch up in CS on this Bloodseeker, who, even with a death in the laning phase, is doing really well in terms of farm. He's going to go ahead and rupture this Earthshaker, but Zap choosing to fight back, throws down a Fissure. He's going to try to walk out of the Blood Right, cannot escape it, and Oblivion Knight should be able to chase him down. Do we have any TPs coming out? He's just going to go ahead and enchant Totem. That's enough for Oblivion Knight to say, I don't want any more of that. Charge coming out from the Spirit Breaker. No Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker, so that is going to be a tough kill.
If the Bloodseeker committed further in there, he would have been Echo Slammed and killed. That was actually a bit risky to even chase the Shaker under tower. It is an Earthshaker. That's a very scary hero to chase under tower.
Now, OD was forced to head bot, and so that gives Nerf Bubbles some room with this siege unit to put some pressure on the T1.
It's a very unfortunate timing.
On Zelfer, do we have dust this time? No dust. So we're going to go ahead and see a rift in from Potato Farmer just to try to reduce his armor, get him farther back. Dire Team, they are looking to collapse. They get another rift up, and Sand King with the Burrow Strike out. Soul Rip healing him up, and Tombstone thrown out, but glimpse back into the Static Storm. Goodbye, Sand King. That kill going the way of Zap. They get the Tombstone as well. Another charge out onto Hype, but that's a scary Undying, so just going to go ahead and back off. He's in the safety of his T1. But speaking of T1s who can't find safety, T1 down bot taking a lot of damage with this Jakiro and Bloodseeker combo. So Radiant is going to get a tower here.
That is definitely a good tower to get. They are charging Bloodseeker, but he should escape in time.
Now Riles could be in a lot of trouble, completely surrounded here. Spirit Breaker doesn't have charge up, but does have Nether Strike. Gonna go ahead, bash him back, and Bloodright comes out, drops the hammer. He does fall, but that gives Oblivion Knight room to take down the Earthshaker. Trying to chase down the Spirit Breaker. He will find the kill, going the way of the Jakiro, so it is a 2-for-1 trade so far in favor of Radiant. Oblivion Knight gonna look to try to fight, but Nerf Bubbles pops that haste rune, might be able to chase down this Bloodseeker. Never mind, this Bloodseeker is doing fairly well. Throws another Bloodright just to defend himself, and looks like it's in the clear, so just a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Radiant.
If Queen of Pain used her 12 charge Magic Wand and Sonic Wave, that would have killed Bloodseeker, but I can see why he wouldn't want to go for that. It's a bit risky.
It is dangerous,
pretty tanky.
Especially if Jakiro lands an Ice Path. Potato Farmer just going to go ahead and back off. Riles is up top, looking to get some push going on in the top lane. Bober, the Space Cows charging, but they're going to need a lot more than a Chaos Knight to get a kill on this Radiant Triforce. Can I say that? Is that Zelda infringement?
You can go for it.
Sounds
what
cool.
are they going to do?
I don't know, man. But maybe we'll have a fight up top. Sanity's Eclipse was down, and he didn't get that under Arcane Rune, right?
I believe it was not under it. Could be wrong, though. I believe the Arcane already expired.
Yeah, I think the Arcane Rune already expired. So it is going to be a while until Sanity's Eclipse is back online, just over a minute. And Teleport comes out from the Queen of Pain, so she gets out safely. Zap still trying to find room to get that Blink Dagger. He did go Tread, so a little ways off.
We've seen Zap has gone for a fairly greedy upgraded boots into Soul Ring build, and that might not pay off, but I feel like he almost needs to make plays right now, but he doesn't really have the Blink Dagger for another 1,300 gold. If he can get the room to farm, though, it should overall be fine.
A Bober charging up top onto Zelfer. Still no detection. But Static Storm thrown out from Blood Ninja. Nether Strike back. Rift from the Chaos Knight. Who needs detection when you have the damage? And that kill going the way of the Disruptor.
Let's see here. At this point, Bloodseeker is doing a very good job on individual farm. He's going for Sanjin Yasha. He has a finished Yasha in stash right now. Looking over at OD, he is buying a Force Staff. He'll go for the finished Hurricane Plague, very standard. Likely we'll go for either a Blinker or BKB after that. Yeah, he's going for Yule Scepter.
Does give him a little bit more survivability once he has that Hurricane Pike online. He can hit from farther and be able to try to get out of, things like Rift from Chaos Knight, get over fissures. The only thing he has to watch out for the most part, is this Disruptor. Blood Ninja has been on point with his Static Storms, so that is definitely a scary hero to look out for at the moment.
What I'm actually very interested on is, we've been talking a lot about the Shaker blink timing, but we can talk about the Sand King blink timing as well. He's only 600 gold from his blink, and just like Earthshaker blink, the Sand King blink will have a lot of impact this game. A well-timed Epicenter and Burrow Strike on the CK can absolutely wreck Phantasm. That is
now, smoke up from Radiant. Riles just going to go ahead and run into this Disruptor. Trying to back off, but Abober's there with the charge. Throws out Urn. And here comes Potato Farmer with that Phantasm. Looking to get some damage. Sonic Storm thrown out. Bloodseeker chases down the Disruptor, finishes him off. And then Potato Farmer trying to fight against his OD, but there's the hammer again, getting a double kill on the Spirit Breaker. And the Chaos Knight, Queen of Pain, trying to back off, but is being chased by these zombies. And Oblivion Knight extremely fast with that thirst. Should be able to hunt down this Queen of Pain. No, she blinks to the safety of her T3. Bloodright comes out. Oblivion Knight actually looking to keep going. She is silenced for a while, but no, decides to back off. It's not time to dive T4s, especially when an Earthshaker's on your tail. Zap goes ahead, lands the fissure. Oblivion Knight taking a lot of damage. Nerf Bubbles going back in. Just needs one more hit. Is he able to evade it? Nope. Actually, he's living on 50 HP, so looking to TP out, and he does get out. That was a scary chase for sure for the Queen of Pain.
Well, Seeker likes playing aggressively. One could say it's very greedy, actually, the way he's been playing. And eventually they're going to punch him, I think.
Eventually. If he dove T4s, he definitely would have been punished there.
You know,
that was a bit scary.
Hit a Sonic Wave in that team fight? I don't remember if he did.
I think Queen of Pain might have hit... Let's see, the OD was probably banished.
OD self-imprisoned already.
Yeah, OD had self-imprisoned.
This is the one disadvantage of casting live versus on Dota TV. Is on Dota TV, you have a rewind button. You can see.
I wish we did have a replay. If we had a replay option, we could see. But I have a feeling you might be right. She might have missed. Because the OD was definitely banished at that time. Another smoke up from Radiant. They just want to keep up the pressure. They're going to run right into Zap, who is low on mana, does not have this Blink Dagger. Stopping him from getting his Blink is definitely important. And he's going to run right into the Bloodright. Bro Strike comes out from Zelfer, and Oblivion Knight able to hunt him down. Static Storm thrown out from Blood Ninja, but it whiffs. And we see the Rupture. Abober just going to immediately teleport out, but is caught by the Ice Path. Double kill going the way of Radiant. Scratch that triple kill as they take out the Disruptor, and a double damage rune going the way of the Quap, but not able to fight into this. So just looking to find some room to farm down bot, and Radiant, they're just going to look to push, take this T1 mid. It is low.
Yeah, right now that's a very, very good fight. Now, if you're capitalizing on your Sand King blink and you're delaying the Earthshaker blink, continue to take fights like this until Earthshaker can get 2 or more gold. If you're Earthshaker, you really need to get 2 or more gold and not die. It's just hasn't done sometimes, but needs to do it anyways.
Potato Farmer still looking for that Echo Saber, does not have it. Nicely timed blink from Nerf Bubbles, able to escape that Burrow Strike. And Sand King with Blink Dagger up is definitely scary. Going for a Force Staff as well, so that's going to be a huge maneuverability item, especially when paired up with the OD. So I gotta say, you know, Free Agent Gamerstag, very strong team at the moment, but we're seeing beautiful execution from Enigma. Stole our bike. I hope they got their name right. I got their name right. I don't want to discredit them or anything like that, but they have pulled themselves into the lead. 3k gold advantage, and it's 13-12 right now, so sitting really pretty. What kind of items do we need to see from Free Agent Gamers to kind of curtail this advantage growing for Radiant?
I'm going to ping the item out that I need. It's Earthshaker on Blink. Or sorry, Blink on Earthshaker. They finally have it, so at the very least they have a tool that can smoke around and initiate with. Earthshaker's one of those heroes where you can group around him and you can just go and either Blink Fissure or Blink Echo Slam. He's sort of here to centralize your team fights. And after that you can throw in Static Storm, Sonic Wave, etc. Besides that though, they need a lot on CK. He's going to Echo Saber, but he probably needs more than that, to be honest. Heart of Tarask maybe did him. That's very expensive.
That's a long ways away, but it is a lot of raw HP. Now Burrow Strike onto Abober. He's going to charge out, but banished. Nicely timed from Riles, and they should be able to get the kill. He is ruptured, so just trying to back off, but down he goes. And that's an important pick-off to get off, especially since Spearbreaker can charge your back lines, get some disable, which outside the Earthshaker, Dire doesn't have a whole lot of, so they do rely on that Spearbreaker. And now, Radiant, they have the room to fight 5v4 and just go ahead and try to take this T2. Undying throws down the Tombstone. Blood Ninja just looking to get some chip damage on it. Dire will even fortify, so with Spearbreaker back up, Radiant will have to be careful. They might look to back off. Bloodright thrown out. Never mind. They want to try to force Dire away. Try to get some room. We do see Phantasm come out from Potato Farmer. Doesn't look like he was lucky. He didn't roll the extra illusion. But the T2 falls to Radiant, so they're more than happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and back off.
It's good for Radiant, but it's not good for Dire. You commit Phantasm and you'll get the Tower of the Night.
Oh, never mind. They're ready to go back in. Zelfer with the Burrow Strike on the Zap. Here comes the Static Storm. And Sand King is separated out, but I'm not seeing any detection. There is a sentry on the low ground for Dire.
That was a very good zero-man Static Storm. Usually when your Static Storm is on 0, it's not that good of a Static Storm, but it actually managed to segment the team fight in a way that Radiant could not chase and kill the Dire team. So, despite missing on everybody, it's a pretty good ulti, actually.
Yeah, so well played, Blood Ninja. Sometimes the best ultimates are indeed the ones that miss. Very few situations, but something like that, well done. It's more the psychological effect. Smoke up from Dire. They're looking to put the pressure back onto Radiant. Now, most of Radiant is up top. We do have Riles farming in the jungle, so they might run into him. But Dire, they have no T1s at the moment, so very little map control for them. And Radiant, they can just play accordingly.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, Radiant going to go ahead, throw out a scan, and second verse, same as the first. They're going to head up top, look to take down this T2. And we're seeing very little opposition from Dire team. And Dire, they're just going to take down the T1 bot. A Potato Farmer with a DD is really scary at the moment. But I think Radiant, they're more than happy with this trade. A T2 for a T1, sure. Take that any day.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So I am curious to see how Free Agent Gamer Stack looks to turn this around next. You do have that Blink Echo Slam available now, and we haven't seen it yet. I may have lost my co-caster. Badger, are you still there with me? Alright, so I've lost my co-caster, ladies and gentlemen, but that's okay. He'll be rejoining us shortly. I assume it's computer problems. So, Radiant team, they're going to go ahead and head back into their jungle. Do we have a smoke available? Yeah, it looks like Jakiro's going to be ferrying one out soon. Looks like they're just going to go ahead and try to rally around the last remaining T2 for Dire team. So, Free Agent, they are losing map control and losing it fast. Now, I am kind of surprised that there has been no Roche attempt. Of course, neither team has all that great of a Roche lineup. Of course, I would give slight favor to Radiant team, but taking a fight in the pit is risky for either. Now, Sand King moving forward, caught in the fissure, and there comes your Nether Strike, removing the Sand King really early in this fight. That's just going to go ahead and deter Radiant. They're just going to look to move back into their jungle. They don't want to fight anything like that. Blood Ninja moving a little bit too far forward, caught in the Ice Path. We do see a Tombstone dropped out, faces the raw damage from the OD. And Blood Ninja will be dying soon, and Oblivion Knight with the kill on the Disruptor, but they lose the Jakiro. Bowbird taking a lot of damage from Rupture, but just looking to go ahead and back off. So, and they get the kill on the Undying too, so definitely in the favor of Dire team. So, mostly in terms of XP, a lot of XP going the way of Dire. They get a nice bounty of gold on the Chaos Knight too. How is the CK's farm looking? Potato Farmer, he has that Echo Saber armlet, and looking towards a BKB. BKB is going to be absolutely terrifying once he has that. There's going to be very few answers for Radiant lineup because they don't have a lot of ways to answer that magic immunity. Now, how is OD doing? OD actually went blink, so a lot of utility there. Going for a BKB of his own, of course, that'll allow him to maneuver around a little bit more in fights and fear the Disruptor a little bit less, because glimpse into Static Storm is definitely rough if he gets the static field up and he can't Force Staff or Hurricane Pike out. Now, Radiant team just looking to fend off their T1s, maybe regroup, go for another push. It is tough. Zelfer with the Blink Yule Scepter, very nice for him. I think that is something to consider, that the Radiant supports, they are doing particularly well. Spearbreaker has a nice bit of farm, but Disruptor has almost nothing. Of course, Disruptor, a hero that can do fairly well without much. Zelfer just going to go ahead and get the Blink Burrow Strike, but Blood Ninja with a No, actually it was used up by the Sand King. And Bloodright thrown out, Rupture as well, and Disruptor trying to TP out, but he is caught by Zelfer's Burrow Strike, so kill going the way of Oblivion Knight. He's pretty scary with that double damage rune, able to hunt down the supports or even heroes like Queen of Pain. Dire team looking to just back off at the moment, and Radiant with a 5v4 matchup for the time being are definitely poised to take out this T2, which they've wanted for a while. And this time Zelfer's not picked off, so he's ready to contribute with those Blink Epicenters. Now the question is, does Dire just go ahead and throw this one away? Yeah, they can't respond to this, so their last remaining T2 goes the way of Radiant. And now Radiant, they're the big dogs of the map. A lot more control, and they can try to look to choke out this Chaos Knight's farm. Chaos Knight, of course, very close to BKB. Queen of Pain? Yeah, Queen of Pain almost has a BKB as well, so both of these cores going towards that very dangerous item for Radiant's lineup. Oh man, hype he built that new urn. That new urn is really neat. But I wonder if it's particularly good in this game. Maybe. Maybe it's just a good enough item where you can just build it anyways. Not a whole lot of healing for Dire team. Alright, so Radiant's grouping up top. They might be looking for a Roshan. Once again, fighting in the Roche Pit against an Echo Slam and Static Storm is not particularly what you want to do. That's how you throw games. So. I'm curious whether they feel they can break high ground without it, or if they're just going to look for another smoke and go for a pickoff. Yep, and they're going to do just that, so Enigma team going to try to run into Dire, but Dire, they're positioned for a smoke as well. Radiant goes ahead, throws out a scan, looking for that Chaos Knight in the jungle, but they're not going to find him. Dire on the opposite side of the map. They might run into Blood Ninja. Nope. Dire, they throw out a scan. They're suspicious something's going on, but surprisingly, they completely dodged the smoke gank. Now, Nerf Bubbles will have to be careful. They don't have any vision of this. Sand King in the lead, and they're going to see the Queen of Pain. She's going to blink back, a delayed Burrow Strike, but there's your Rupture, and the Yule's up into the Ice Path, and down goes your Queen of Pain. And is that the room Radiant team was looking for to pressure high ground? I'm not sure. You might have to look for more pickoffs in the meantime, but that's a good one to get. Yeah, the lane's not quite pushed out as far forward as they would like. And Potato Farmer with that completed BKB online, it's going to be a lot more resistant to Radiant's lineup. How you doing, Zelfer? Let's see. You're going for a Lotus Orb. Be able to reflect some huge spells like Glimpse. Oh, Arbobur. He has Solar Crest, but working towards that Sange. Might be aiming for a Halberd eventually. I think a Halberd would definitely be good against the OD, but OD has BKB, so as long as Riles saves that as long as he can, might be in a good situation. Now Zap mid could be in a lot of trouble here. Wrap around coming from the Jakiro, just going to go ahead and look to back off into the jungle. He can blink out, but reserving that blink for the time being. Queen of Pain back up. So curious to see how this next fight goes. Dire definitely positioning to defend. Tombstone preemptively thrown out, and they find the Earthshaker. Zelfer with the Burrow Strike. Ice Path laying down. Hype just going to go ahead and ulti up. Macropyre trying to fight. There's your Echo Slam. Sand King goes down, but so does the Earthshaker. Oblivion Knight trying to fight, but completely surrounded by the Dire cores. Are they going to lose the Bloodseeker? He throws out another Bloodright, just trying to back off, escape through the trees. It's actually fairly fast, but is glimpsed back from the Disruptor, and nice Soul Rip helps save him. Nerf Bubbles will go ahead and commit that BKB on the hunt for Bloodseeker, but walk the other way. Stun out on the OD, but Riles still has plenty of life to fight with. Oblivion Knight healed up, drops the hammer, takes out the Spirit Breaker, and Radiant, they are happy with that. You forced out the 10-second BKB on the Quap, You don't have to worry about it on Chaos Knight for a little bit longer, and that's going to give you room to start pressuring these towers. Of course, Earthshaker going to be back up relatively soon, but does not have Echo Slam for another 80 seconds. So I'm curious as to whether Radiant tries to go for the Roche. They're definitely heading that way. Very few options for Dire to try to stop this.
Dire need to capitalize better on their beacons.
Welcome back, Badger. That was definitely an exciting turn of events, but Radiant team, they just won a fairly decisive team fight, trading 2 for 0, so well played for them, and now they have room to get an Aegis.
Keep in mind, though, the more the Spinifeed uses her BKB, the harder this is technically going to be for her. There is the CK BKB, but I don't think the CK BKB is going to have the exact same effect as the Queen of Pain one.
Yeah, Queen of Pain definitely a hero that wants to maneuver around more in fights, and without a BKB and facing all this stun, silence, and disable on Radiant's lineup, it's hard to deal with. Now, something I'm interested in is that Radiant, they're only up by 6k gold. It's a lead, but it's not that big of a lead, considering that they still have a lot of their towers left. 4 external towers where the Dire have none. And that's a lot of gold just in structures alone.
Most of that lead comes from their cores, namely the OD being ahead as well. Looking at the offlaners, for example, the Sand King isn't really that far ahead of the Shaker. These Dire cores, despite having some problems, have run into some good Akali management. And as a result, they're not out of the game just yet.
Not out of the game just yet. You can never count out a hero like Earthshaker. Can have big turnarounds. Now, Radiant team, they have not been able to pressure high ground yet. But with that Aegis, can they turn that around? I mean, OD was actually very survivable that fight. He took almost no damage, and so with 2 lives left, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Ideally, if you're Radiant, you need to get a pick off on one of the big Dire heroes before you go into their base. Looking over at Radiant Vision, they do see the Disruptor, actually, so they know at least they can push bottom lane with the smoke and be fine with that. I don't believe the Dire are aware of the smoke either, so this could work out very well for them.
Yeah, Radiant smoked up, but Dire, they do seem to be dodging it.
They have an idea.
The last
Don't know
smoke
exactly,
game
though.
did end in a quap kill, so maybe they can find another juicy target. Oh, Disruptor trying to run back, but here's the Blink Burrow Strike from Zelfer. And that is the end of our Disruptor friend, Riles. Just the damage is just too much.
Oh, they won't get a juicy target, but they will get a target, and a target is better than no target.
Now, Dire, they do pick up the last remaining T1, so that's at least something. Consolation prize.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They do still have the ability to go high ground with that Aegis, though, on the OD, and now is the time.
Oh, we'll see the buyback from the Disruptor. Fissure trying to stop Riles from moving forward, but Rift back goes ahead and tries to force staff out. And he'll go ahead and blink. Well-timed blink for him. Epicenter still online. Zap throws out another Fissure, catching on too. Bobird looking for that Nether Strike, but will cancel it. Now Epicenter from Zelfer. Going to take out Zap. He heals himself. Potato Farmer going to go ahead and take out the Aegis from the OD and the Undying as well. They'll focus down the Sand King. He Burrow Strikes out, but not to safety. He dies. Zap getting the kill on Oblivion Knight. Riles, the last remaining core for Radiant team, just looking to back off. But Potato Farmer reels him back, and Sonic Wave from Nerf Bubbles. Shoeless Joe falls as well, and it's a full 5-man wipe. Dire team, free agent Gamerstack trading only the Earthshaker for all 5 heroes, and that 5k gold lead is now less than 1.
They had to use a separate buyback as well, but that was a good play by, I believe, a Bober. I believe the Bober was the one that forced out the Bloodseeker's BKB prematurely. Pushing out Bloodseeker's BKB prematurely there means that Bloodseeker cannot go in and properly back up his OD and the Sand King when they go in. As a result of that, the Dire are able to slowly win the fight and drag the fight on and to the point where they can win at their high grounds. And fighting extended fights at the enemy high ground often does not go well for the team that, well, it's not their high ground, and it didn't work out for them there.
It did not indeed. Now, Potato Farmer has a very interesting pickup. MKB.
He sees a talisman on Bloodseeker, and he's going for the MKB as a proactive evasion counter. I don't think Bloodseeker's just going to sell off his talisman right now to make the MKB a wasted pickup. But even then, MKB is not the worst. With the rework of the MKB, it does make it slightly worse against evasion, but it makes it slightly better overall against non-evasion.
It's interesting that he's choosing to preemptively prepare against the Bloodseeker when the OD seems like the predominant threat. Is Dire comfortable? Do they have enough answers? Like last fight, we just saw them wipe out everyone but the OD and the Jakiro and just mop up the OD afterwards. Is that the strat you go for?
You probably should. I mean, they got a bone given to them since the Bloodseeker using BKB. But the thing is, Bloodseeker and OD's BKBs are going to get shorter and shorter. Right now, both of them are at 8-second BKBs. And as these BKBs dwindle, heroes like Disruptor, heroes like Chaos Knight, heroes like Earthshaker are going to have far more impact in these later game teamfights.
Oh, and this could be rough. Our team moving forward, looking for that opportunity. They throw down a ward. They're going to spot out this Jakiro, but he throws down a ward of his own. There's your Rift in, just taking out a lot of life. Undying will go ahead and throw down the Tombstone. Here comes the Epicenter from Zelfer, catching out the Earthshaker, but he heals up. And another Rift in, Lotus Orb on Sand King flying in the air, but there's your Scream. Hammer drop, and they take out the Earthshaker. Potato Farmer dropping low, being chased down by Oblivion Knight. Charge comes out from Abobur, just trying to keep the OD off. The rest of the heroes and Nerf Bubbles will find a blink out. But Radiant team not done yet, looking to chase down whoever they can find. Abobur going to go for that TP, and he makes it to safety. Very impressively timed TP. Ryle's trying to hunt down Potato Farmer, but here comes the Yules from Nerf Bubbles. Can they find the kill? They're going to go ahead and banish him, and you're going to lose your Chaos Knight. Now that's absolutely rough. He does have buyback, though, so if another high ground attempt comes back, he can go ahead and use them, but that's not something you want to just throw away.
Yeah, if you're Radiant, you really do want the Force CK buyback, but the problem is just high grounding with 3 heroes into a Shaker who is respawning can be an absolute disaster. This is a high-risk, high-reward player.
Yeah, so Radiant, they just go ahead and head up onto the high ground. They want to force out this buyback. They're going to take the T3. Echo Slam comes out onto the OD. Buyback from Chaos Knight. Abobur dropping low will go ahead, try to earn up, but Oblivion Knight looking to charge him down. He gains a little bit of life, but buyback does come out from the Spirit Breaker. Is able to kill the Disruptor, but can he get out? Oblivion Knight dropping low will be Soul Rip, healing him back up, and a nicely timed Ice Path. Burrow Strike into 3, absolutely huge. They take down the Earthshaker. Abobur down as well. That's a dieback. Earthshaker will go ahead and buy back Potato Farmer. Just having to use a little bit of his BKB to run away. Trueless Joe rifted back in. Can they slay the Jakiro? They'll find the kill there. And Radiant team, they just have to look to get out now. But, you know, you take the T3 and you get a few buybacks on the way, and now you're in a fairly comfortable gold lead again. So definitely going the favor of Radiant, and they're going to look to take a Shrine to sweeten the deal.
Earthshaker started the fight with a very good read there with the OD going in. He read the OD going in. He had an Echo Slam there, but the problem is his team was not ready for the damage. CK went in with the buyback. The problem is CK's BKB was still on cooldown, I believe. As a result, he couldn't BKB. He got imprisoned by the OD, and the dominoes, they all started to fall. Once the dead Radiant heroes were able to join their alive allies at the high ground, and while the Dire, they didn't lose any barracks, that is a rough defense. You lose your T3 tower, you lose your shrines, you lose your CK buyback, which is never something you want to lose. This is...
Yeah, they have no buyback on 3 heroes for over 6 minutes. That's going to give Radiant a lot more room to take something like a Roshan, which may respawn just shortly. We'll have to find out how much longer until we see that Rosh up. Roshan will respawn in 1:42, so fairly short Roshan timing.
Fairly short.
Radiant will want to keep their eye out on that.
Neither team really has vision over the Roshan pit right now. Looking over at potential wards that are on these heroes, Jakiro does have 2, and Disruptor has 1. So both teams definitely can ward the area. I highly suspect Jakiro will drop one around the Rosh pit. Actually, they're gonna smoke right now as 4 and go for a kill. Or are they? What are they doing?
They might be waiting for the Sand King. Like, the blink Burrow Strikes from Zelfer have been absolutely huge and have allowed them to pick off heroes like the Queen of Pain, like the Disruptor. And I definitely think that's a key part. Looks like they're just going to opt to push out the lane down bot just a little bit.
They're definitely getting ready to group though. They're bringing all the heroes over to one area of the map. It looks like they want to smoke right now. Get out there.
Yeah, free agent gamers, they have to recognize that with the Sand King only showing that something is up, and we are going to see them disperse. Now, Radiant, they throw out a fairly lucky scan there, so that's going to reveal Blood Ninja. Smoke will break. Blood Ninja is pinged out, but just going to go ahead and back out just a little bit. Oblivion Knight on the hunt. And yeah, looks like free agents were able to completely disregard this attempt at a smoke gank. Yeah, Abober going to go ahead TP on out. Nerf Bubbles looking to TP as well. But Zelfer has an idea. He's going to go for the Bro Strike. Nope, Nerf Bubbles just going to be able to TP on out.
I thought for a second that Jakiro was using Ice Path there and not Dual Breath. He had the exact right angle for the Ice Path stun if he used Ice Path as well, but they didn't know where Queen of Pain was at that point. That's a very low percentage play there.
Yeah, Radiant going to turn their attention to the top shrine. If they can take this, they have much better Roche positioning. Blink forward from Ryle's going to go ahead and Hex up the Disruptor, and that's a nice, juicy solo kill. Now, Disruptor is one of those heroes that still has buyback for Dire Team, so not exactly the best kill, but maybe you can look to force that out as well. And Radiant Team, they are grouping up, heading towards these mid-racks. The Tombstone has been dropped. Buyback from Disruptor. Is that what they're happy with? They're backing off. Looks like it. And I mean, that was basically a freebie. They just had to head mid, look intimidating, and get that buyback. And now they can look to get the shrine.
Yeah, it should be easy for them. Not easy, but it seems like it's very obvious they're going to go for the shrine into a Roshan kill. At this point, we're reaching the end of the potential Roshan window, so they should know.
Oh, Dire looking to put up the pressure. Never mind. Charge is canceled, but they are smoked up. Zap going to run right into the Jakiro, but nicely times Yules from him. Hex up on the Spirit Breaker. Jakiro is down, but here comes the Epicenter. And does it connect? Nope, he's been Yules up. And Oblivion Knight slain by Potato Farmer. OD taking a lot of damage as well. Zelfer going to go ahead and Sandstorm up on the back lines. Hype roped in, up fighting against this Chaos Knight. That's a triple kill for Potato Farmer. And Zelfer, Zelfer's a Sand King. He should be able to loot his way, but Zap is quick on the chase. A lot of catch with Yule Scepter and Blink. And do we actually have any detection? No, we do not. So Zelfer with that Invis rune should be in the clear. But it's Dire who's going to go and move into the Roche pit. And that's going to be Aegis and Cheese. Both of which are very nice for Quap or CK. I think you give the Cheese to CK and the Aegis to Nerf Bubbles. But we'll have to see.
Probably, yeah. That's what I expect will happen here.
Never mind, Potato Farmer wants the Aegis, so they want the damage from the CK.
Usually, though, Queen of Pain shouldn't be instantly burst before she can... Wait, where is the cheese, actually? It's on Shaker? It's on Shaker, actually. Nothing going to Queen of Pain. That's a bit risky. Queen of Pain is not the most durable hero. She has a BKB, so if she's good in their reactions, she can use a fast BKB or a fast Dual Scepter, but it does mean she needs to be careful. She doesn't have a lifeline in the sense right now.
Now, a scary item that Potato Farmer is getting pretty close to is Assault Cuirass.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Radiant Team, they have an armor problem.
I was meant to have
Assault Cuirass is going to make a bigger problem. Now, you're really going to have a lot of problem for Bloodseeker going through the Dire Team armor, and yet your armor, which is already kind of lacking on some of your heroes, not the OD and the Bloodseeker, but the other heroes, it's not going to be good. Actually, Radiant's armor's fine.
Well, on terms of their cores, Oblivion Knight is getting close to an Assault Cuirass of his own, so that will counter out Potato Farmer's weapon of choice. But he's almost at that level 25 talent. So he could pick more armor reduction. Or possibly just a long stun.
He went for the armor reduction over the duration on the Chaos Bolt.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that's what you want.
Reliable. It's a lot more reliable as well. But yeah, I definitely think you should go for it this game.
Radiant gonna go ahead and throw out a scan. They know where Dire's cooking. Are they anticipating a smoke gank? It looks like they're moving like they expect a smoke gank.
Radiant sees none of the Dire heroes, and they see all 3 waves there's no Dire heroes at. Especially the one mid lane. The one mid lane gives it away.
Yeah, there is a huge wave approaching mid. Potato Farmer will show, so they can relax a little bit.
You get back to see that wave middle lane. You know something's up. And actually, nothing was up there, but you have to be very anxious to smoke gank in those situations.
Yeah, especially losing that fight in the Dire jungle. Radiant playing a little bit more carefully now. Hero like Chaos Knight is especially scary in the ultra late game. And we are approaching that.
CK still has room to buy more items. You can replace the armlet and the Echo Saber with larger items as well, which is nice. That can be, say, a heart, or that can be a Scotty type item. Very, very large, significant items later in this game.
Bloodseeker has a Shiva's queued up next. That's interesting to me.
You want some armor to not die to CK. In addition, it's AoE slow and AoE damage up against the CK illusions, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, just try to kite out the hero illusions and then just kill all the supports, which he has been doing in a lot of these fights.
We actually might reach a point where CK might just replace or put the MKB in backpack. Because Bloodseeker actually isn't finishing his evasion item, he uses a Talisman of Evasion, the MKB loses a bit of value. And at, say, minute 65 or so, we may just see him replace the MKB, rather than, say, an Echo Saber.
Yeah, he definitely wants more stat items, and MKB, not exactly the stat item of choice. So, you know, anything that could be interesting would be possibly something like a Lotus Sphere, or, you know, a Heart of Taras, definitely. Just about anything that uses either a Reaver or an Ultimate Orb might be okay for that hero.
Hey, MKB gives great stats of just attack speed, but it's still gives you some attack speed.
Just attack speed. And Pierce.
It's not really a stat, it's just more Pierce.
It's just more Pierce. Now, Nerf Bubbles with that Mjolnir actually can move creep waves fairly efficiently, and we've seen the Quap just kind of switching in these side lanes, pushing them in, and Radiant have to respond accordingly. You know, despite Dire being kind of behind in towers, they're not exactly behind on map control because of the Quap just being able to push in those side lanes. Now, smoke up from Dire. They are on the hunt. Radiant, they're all positioned together. And this is just a question of whether Dire moves accordingly. They do see OD on the map, so they might start to head towards top. They are going to walk onto the high ground, but Radiant team, they are backing off.
Dire, they play very conservatively there. With the Disruptor Gem, they actually see the Radiant has vision there. So Radiant would be aware of when the Dire smoke was popping.
And speaking of popping, he just popped.
As well. They didn't want to fight with both the Radiant having vision of the smoke popping and the Aegis popping. So that's a very, very smart, very intelligent move there from the Creation Gamer stack.
Yeah, and Potato Farmer now has buyback back up. So Radiant smoked. They want to find a pickoff in return. And they're going to find Nerf Bubbles in this bot lane. Quap going to go ahead and try to back off, but Zelfer hot on the pursuit. Will he get the Bro Strike off? Nope, just pops the Lincoln Sphere. And Yule's up from the Queen of Pain. She's going to be safe and gets to the safety of her team.
That Queen of Pain talent change is very nice. Before on Queen of Pain, you always wanted to buy a Lincoln Sphere, but now you have a talent for that. Problem solved.
And there's a talent for that. Charge onto Jakiro. Shoeless Joe is going to pay the price. And jump forward from Nerf Bubbles. Throws out the Sonic Wave. They're trying to focus down this Earthshaker. Here comes a huge epicenter. Radiant finding the kill. Potato Farmer BKB'd up. Riffs in. And takes out the OD. Never mind. He gets the self-banish off. And Bloodright comes out. Burrow Strike from Zelfer onto the Spirit Breaker. Nerf Bubbles able to fight off the Bloodseeker. He goes down, but Hex up on the Quap, and that kill going the way of Ryle's charge from Abobur, but he falls, not able to Nether Strike back enough. Blood Ninja able to TP out, and only the CK and Disruptor survive. So that fight going in favor of Radiant.
I mean, there's at least some good things there for Dire. They kept CK alive, they maintained the gem, and all the heroes who died of buyback. But for Radiant, that was great. Especially on the OD's part, that was a very good self-banishment into Blink there. If he ended up dying there, was either unable to get the self-banishment off, or was unable to get the defensive Blink off, he dies there, that fight looks a lot differently. But instead, OD escapes, turns to kill Queen of Pain and Spirit Breaker, and the Radiant win the fights.
Illusion.
At this point, it seems like both teams have the potential to do a lot. Radiant's definitely in a slightly more competitive position. I feel like
Queen
Dire
of
can
Pain
still win
buys
fights.
back already. They
She
do
had the longest death
not
timer.
want Radiant getting anywhere close to their racks.
The Dire team knows that if they can get a fight on their terms, or even on neutral terms, they can actually be a very decisive fight. And they don't just want to throw their barracks away for nothing.
Yeah, especially if you can slay someone like OD, because OD is just offering way too much in these team fights. He has the crowd control, he has the damage. He's definitely something you want to focus down, but it's hard to do.
Ideally, you need to wait for his BKB to end, and then you orchid him. At that point, he needs to be purged by an allied purge. Sand King has Lotus, so that might actually be pretty hard to do. But say you can get a silence on OD, and Sand King can't purge it, and OD's BKB is on cooldown. At that point, he can't actually save himself, in theory.
No.
You definitely need to somehow kill OD, though.
Something I have to give credit to on Radiant Team is that Hype has been really vigilant and getting good soul rips that just barely keep his teammates alive. But we saw in the last fight, Riles was able to stay just barely alive, and he was able to banish himself, get back into the fight, reposition himself with that Hurricane Pike, take out a core like the Quap, and now suddenly he has a lot more room to maneuver in, a lot more room to deal damage, and just ultimately pick apart this Dire team. So, excellent fighting going both ways. And it will be interesting. This one's a nail-biter.
This Aghanim on Disruptor, it's in a 700 gold. I actually think that's a very significant item. I think the ability to mute these items on the Radiant team, I mean the BKB on OD, BKB on Bloodsticker, BKB on Sand King, if you can mute one of those in the fights, that actually can be fight changing.
And so Radiant team just backing up, trying to take as much farm from Dire as possible. They are kind of pigeonholed onto the high ground at the moment. Not a whole lot of vision. There's a lot of map control from Radiant team as they just control this sector with their wards.
Invisibility.
The thing is, despite Radiant, they're doing good maneuvers around the map. They're doing a good job. It seems like Dire, they have the lamp to be able to stay in this game. So no matter how many times the Radiant, say, slightly win a team fight, the Dire is there to push back. And eventually the Dire, say Dire only wins 1 out of 4 fights, but that 1 out of 4 fights decisive, that's enough to keep them in this game. That's pretty much the way this game is going, actually.
Yeah, fighting into high ground against Echo Slam, basically anything on Disruptor, Sonic Wave, that's something you need an Aegis for, and Roshan responding in 15 seconds, so if Hype can catch this, that might be what they're looking for. Riles hexing up and dropping the hammer on the Quap. Very nice pick off, going the way of the OD, and maybe
that's a very hard kill.
Yeah, that's a dieback for the Queen of Pain.
That's actually huge.
100 seconds.
Had to go high rounds.
Yeah. Now Zap, Invis up, trying to fight against Oblivion Knight, throws out the Rupture on the Disruptor. Ice Path comes out, but Rift from Potato Farmer, and Oblivion Knight blink back in. Huge epicenter for Zelfer. He gets a double kill, and now this is looking terrible for Dire Team. Down goes your Chaos Knight, and Zap will fall as well. We see 3 buybacks coming their way. Do they have buyback on the Earthshaker? They do, but they're holding that in reserve for the moment. Yule's up on the Sand King Radiant. They didn't lose a single hero. Gonna go ahead and Burrow Strike out the Disruptor. Blood Ninja trying to walk back, but is caught out from that Blood Right. Down go the range racks. Melee racks dropping low as well. Fissure does come out from the Earthshaker, but they lose a full set mid, and Radiant turning their attention to the top set. That Queen of Pain kill was perfect. Glimpse back on the Zelfer. They might find him as well, but at what cost? You lost your T3 up top. Oh, they don't even get the Sand King as well. Fissure thrown out. They're turning their attention back on the Radiant team. Rift onto the OD, but well-timed self-banish Potato Farmer BKB it up, trying to fight against this Bloodseeker, but he'll go and Rupture, and a huge Burrow Strike on 2, takes out the Disruptor, dieback onto your Chaos Knight, and this is GG. You lose everything. Well played from Enigma. Stole our bike.
And we will be going to game number 2. I actually want to talk briefly about that the last fight outside the T3 tower. So let's go into the heads of this Dire team, right? They made the right play. You notice, okay, let's lose Queen of Pain. That's a dieback. We cannot let Radiant fight 5v4, and they had the right initiative. They went in there, hey, all right, let's kill Bloodseeker, let's kill the Dark Core. If we can kill them, it's a 4v4. Maybe they won't siege. Maybe we can make time for our Queen of Pain to respawn. Problem is, they barely did not kill Bloodseeker. He got BKB off, he got soul ripped. They were unable to chase far enough, and as a result of that, it just kind of snowballed until they lost the game.
And that was a vicious game of back and forth. I'm ready for the next one. Are you?
I'm absolutely ready.
Well, too bad we gotta wait because they gotta make the lobby. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a look at what's going on. Thank you for re-inviting me to your party.
Of course, of course.
What's going on our Twitch people? I mean, you guys aren't gonna be able to see my reply or response for like a minute or so, but what's happening? Are you guys enjoying this game? This one is exciting. This is definitely a great matchup. That was a tense game 1. I mean, very even lineup so far.
Hey, Doug.
What's up?
I hate my computer.
You hate your computer?
Really
I'm sorry about that. Not much I can do. Did you disconnect? Was it like a full disconnect from Dota? What was happening?
It was a full computer shutdown.
Oh no,
Things froze up and I had to reload. And I got back. I got back for the good parts of the game. I was there for the draft. I was there for the 2 most important parts. Draft
there you
analysis
go.
and endgame.
That's what we need you for. Actually, I need you. I need you more than I'm willing to admit because solo casting is a scary thing when you have to fill every second of dead air. And then sometimes you just repeat things. Sometimes you just mention how important it is to get BKBs on your cores. I mean, as if the beautiful people watching on Twitch don't know that already.
See, the thing is, you actually need me, funnily enough, like right now. Because you could cast a game yourself, because there's actually game to cast. But when there's not game to cast, dear God, how do you do it with one person?
Yeah, so Free Agent Gamer Stack and Enigma stole our bikes. If you're out there, please, please make the lobby. We don't want to vamp forever.
I'm lobby up.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It's 13th of November. It's 2 days after Singles Day, which doubles as Armistice. Actually, is same day as Armistice Day?
Maybe. I know Veterans Day was like originally Armistice Day. I don't know if the 11th was the day of Armistice. Yeah, actually, I think it is.
Yeah, it's
I think
11,
it is.
11,
Yeah,
11.
Armistice Day was turned into Veterans Day.
They surrendered on the 11th of November, 1918 at 11:11 a.m. I believe.
I bet you guys came here for some history. Anyways, ladies and gents,
I love history.
I think it's time for a reset. We have Free Agent Gamer Stack versus Enigma Stole Our Bikes, Season 12, Reddit Dota 2 League, quarterfinals. Amazing Game 1 going in favor of Enigma. Let's see what Game 2 has to offer once they join this frickin' lobby. Come on, man. Everyone's here. Let's just do it. Come on. Let's just join and hit play.
They gotta do methodology. They gotta do the proper stuff. They gotta get in the slots. If they don't, there's gonna be a very angry admin guest walking down like, how dare you?
They're gonna bash them on the head with a rule book.
I'm going to rule book you. I actually imagine that, yeah. Bashing someone on the head with a rule book right there.
That's what it's all about, man. Okay, so everyone's here, nice and neat. Set team name, please. Is that all that's stopping them?
Yeah, I believe so. The thing is, with lobby functionality, you usually want both teams to be tagged up for all the functions to work. As somebody who hosts a lot of lobbies for usually less productive reasons than the RD2L, it's very important to have both teams tagged up, you know?
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, come on. It's Monday night. Monday Night Dota. What else is going on in the Dota sphere? Anything exciting today? I've been at work, so I haven't really been able to watch a whole lot.
OG qualified for the Summit 8.
Hey!
Actually, no, they didn't qualify for Summit. That was Team Kingwin. OG qualified for the Macau
Now,
Minor.
is that the OG or is that Optic Gaming?
Okay, so OG
It's confusing.
for,
We have two now.
Like the European OG, the major winners, they've qualified for the Macau Minor. Compare it to, I believe Team Kingwin's a team from Poland. They qualified for the Summit 8 from the European qualifier. Whew.
Okay, looks like our lobby is back up. Enigma stole our bikes. Gonna go ahead and go for that first ban. Monkey King. I guess Potato Farm has a really good Monkey King because I do not want to play against it. Free Agent Gamerstack, they're gonna ban out Hype's Undying, which was really strong in the last game. Soul Rips were massive, keeping key members alive so they could do more, you know, just actions and fights, you know, especially on the OD, like keeping the OD alive where he could banish himself. Very strong, amazing Soul Rips. And we saw it in the early game too. He saved Sand King's life a few times up in that off lane. Night Stalker banned out. Still a hero you just don't want to play against, even if he has reduced day vision. And Beastmaster once again banned out from Free Agent Gamerstack. Not an offlaner they want to fight against.
I mean, it makes a bit of sense that these heroes are being banned. These are overall very strong heroes. And the Undying is both a strong hero and a respect ban.
Yeah. Viper banned out. Maybe looking for a hero with a good passive?
Viper is just very, very good. That's my opinion on Viper. He's very good.
He's a very strong hero at the moment. Now, Enigma Solar Bikes was hinting, or was it Free Agent who were hinting at an Anti-Mage pick? So maybe we'll see an Anti-Mage this game.
It was second phase. The second phase bans last game was Anti-Mage, PA, Medusa, and some other carry.
Phantom Assassin,
I can't remember this.
I think it was PA.
I said PA.
Oh, you said PA already. Whoops, that went over my brain.
It was Razor. It was Razor.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was Razor.
So, if they're being okay, they're even banning out Medusa. They're saying, you know what? Enigma stole our bikes. We banned out Medusa second phase last game. We're not even going to give you the opportunity. Not even going to give you the opportunity to pick it first phase. They don't want to give him Medusa.
Apparently, very scary Medusa for Enigma stole our bikes.
10 seconds remaining.
Now, I'm curious how this all plays out. What's their first pick? It is the Jakiro, reliable hero. Just go with it again.
Winter Wyvern. This is a hero that I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick up Ogre Magi, huh? So
now that was
want to pick
Ogre
up a hero
Magi was a Hidden Leaf Village speciality, so I'm interested to see whether Free Agent Gamerstack believes as much in the Ogre Magi as Hidden Leaf Village did. Winter Wyvern, very powerful hero.
The funny part is they picked it in the regular season. It got them the playoffs with a Hazard playing it every single game, and then they don't pick it in the playoffs and they lose.
Yeah.
They didn't pick it all. They just lost. They didn't believe in the Ogre and they lost.
So maybe Free Agent Gamerstack, they have belief in the multicast.
They definitely want a core where you can utilize Bloodlust properly, if not two of them. I mean, obviously OD is pretty good doing that if they want to go that route again. As are heroes like, for example, Tiny. Okay, Medusa's banned. Medusa's a good Bloodlust carrier. Weaver's pretty decent. There's a lot of options for heroes that are good with Bloodlust, though.
Now, we did see in EG versus Complexity that Winter Wyvern's still a very strong hero. Very useful, reliable hero to go with. Earth Spirit picked up for Enigma Stolar Bikes. An amazing hero last patch. Very versatile, powerful 4-roll hero. Are we going to see as much active Earth Spirit as we did last patch? Or is his role going to change just a little bit?
We did see some Earth Spirit in the 7.06 patch for the RD2L. It should still be an active 4-roll roamer. Go to the mid lane, cause hell, go to the side lanes, cause some more hell, back to the mid lane, get some bounty runes, all that jazz. But Earth Spirit's just a very conceptually strong hero. He's pretty much good at doing everything. They keep nerfing his everything, but he's still picked. No matter what nerf, he's still there.
You know, sometimes Boulder Roll and Magnetize are just absurd. Spin banned out. What is with these sniper banouts? Apparently Enigma Store Bikes just have a really strong sniper player.
I think Free Agent Gamerstack, they've done their research. They say at least they're ready for the giraffes. The problem is they need to get more ready for Riles in the mid lane. That is for sure.
Tidehunter. That's an interesting early pick. They don't want Enigma Stoller Bikes disabling their offlaner. I mean, we saw it last game. Earthshaker, he got put out of the fight pretty early. You know, you had the blink in from the Sand King. You had a whole lot of disable going the way of the Earthshaker, and he just wasn't able to get his team fight control available. So you pick a hero with Kraken Shell, problem kind of solved. You know, Tidehunter, really hard hero to lock down. He is almost guaranteed to get a Ravage off in a fight. So that reliable offlaner that can provide good team fight control, that's what Free Agent Gamerstack wants.
Dire team pick.
Brewmaster.
I was going to say they should definitely get a very interesting high team fight offlaner. I actually was going to say Doom is a possible counter to Tidehunter, but they'll instead go for Brewmaster.
Yeah, Doom.
Brewmaster, you could do a similar thing though.
Doom's not interesting. His ability is his name, the Brewmaster. He does like a bunch of things. He splits into 3 Brewmasters.
Thing is, Brewmaster is very good against Tide in team fights in the fact that you can Cyclone the Tidehunter, and then he's kind of just up in the air being Cyclone for, what is it, 6 seconds? During that time, you can have a lot of problems where there's no coming down.
Now, that is purgeable, though.
Radiant team.
Yeah, but you either need an ally to purge it, though.
Yeah.
You can't actually get purged by Kraken Shell because you're stuck and you're not taking damage.
You're not taking damage. That's the main thing. Tiny picked up. Tiny, very strong hero right now, who has changed a lot. We've seen, you know, builds like Sanj and Yasha being very powerful, building agility items like Butterfly even.
Building a lot of armor.
Very different hero.
Players like Arteezy and Mason have been playing it in the NA region, and they've been building items like Aquila, Sanj and Yasha, and Assault Cuirass in order to solve Tiny's problems of having literally 0 base armor and 0 agility game. So, makes a lot of sense, but we will see a Razor. If Razor falls behind, he'll have some problems, but if Razor's even out items, he can really cause Tiny problems by just linking up his damage.
Yeah, Tiny, a hero who relies on a lot of base damage, so if you can just steal that, boom, problem sort of solved.
On the bright side for Tiny, Razor can only steal so much damage, and you have so much base damage that likely Razor won't steal all of it.
First world problems for Enigma. They can steal the bikes, but they can't steal all of Tiny's base damage.
I mean, if they reduce Tiny to like 30 base damage, then he's effectively not that much of a
but
hero.
But if they pick up a Bane, then they can definitely steal all that base damage. I don't think Bane is in the works, though. Enigma Stoller Bike's most likely looking for that steady safe laner that they can rely on.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised Bane has not been touched in either picks or bans this series. Bane's pretty good. Still pretty good.
Queen of Pain ban, interesting.
It's a bit of a respect ban. They don't want to give They don't want to give. I mean, not as a respect ban, but they don't really want to give Enigma Stoller Bikes the opportunity to say, you know what, use a Queen of Pain, but we'll win with Queen of Pain. Ho. That's you don't want to see that. That's a bad look.
Fair enough.
5 seconds remaining.
But yeah, definitely think Enigma Stoller Bikes are gonna look for a safe laner unless they're just confident in the Razor v Tidehunter matchup, which is fair. That's definitely a decent matchup for Razor.
Yeah, take some damage. Seems fun. You sit there as Tidehunter with Kraken Shell, you take no damage, but you don't really do anything.
Yeah, you just kind of sit there and soak up XP, which I guess is what Tidehunter kind of wants to do anyways. I mean, he's not exactly a farm-heavy hero. Storm Spirit, so it will be a safe lane Razor, most likely.
It's a good lane for Storm, actually. There's no AM in the pool. DP's a good lane matchup that's banned. Queen of Pain's a good lane matchup that's banned. Sniper's a good lane matchup that's banned. Odie's a good lane matchup that's banned. It goes on.
And look at their
matchup that's banned.
Look at their like long-lasting look at their long-lasting lockdown. It's virtually non-existent.
I'm actually trying to think, what do they pick here to deal with Storm?
That's a tongue twister we ought to add to the list. Long-lasting lockdown.
It's not that bad. Long-lasting lockdown.
Accidental tongue twister.
Add a couple more L's to it and maybe...
Say it faster, then there you go.
Jesus. What do they...
So reserve time is ticking down, and they pick up the puck, so there goes your mid-team fight control.
Like, Tiny really needs to get rolling this game. if Tiny falls behind, then it's basically game over. So they really need to put a lot of their. Usually, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, but you need to put all your eggs in the basket up at the farm risk game.
Yeah, Enigma stole our bikes. They're going to be ready to fight like 15 minutes in. And you're going to need to be prepared for that. But if the game goes late enough and the Storm Spirit's in check, Free Agent Gamerstack might have a lot of room with the Tiny because they take one fight in their favor and there goes Radiant Structures. But this draft in particular, I'm kind of in favor of Enigma. Just because if they can win the laning phase, then they're going to have a very threatening mid-game.
I'm going to say Free Agent Gamerstack is going to win off of the merits that I believe they can protect Tiny's farm and get him rolling. If there's a situation where the Free Agent Gamerstack lose their lanes, then I can foresee a pretty bad outcome for them.
Well, I'm hoping Free Agent Gamerstack wins because I want to go to game 3. Anyways,
sure.
Let's go ahead and jump into game 2. As a reminder, Enigma Stole Our Bikes is up a game in this best of 3. And let's introduce our teams. So over here on Enigma Stole Our Bikes, we have Shoeless Joe on the Jakiro. We have Riles on the Storm Spirits. Yeah. Yes. We have Hype on the Earth Spirit. We have Oblivion Knight on that safe lane Razor. And finally, Zelfer on the off-lane Brewmaster.
Meanwhile, on the Dire team, the Free Agent Gamerstack, we have Potato Farmer on the Tiny. We have Vel on the Puck. We have a Bober on the Ogre Magi. We have Zap on the off-lane Tide. And finally, Blood Ninja on the support Winter Wyvern.
Yep, so Dire going to go ahead and smoke up. And we saw this play last game, Radiant choosing not to smoke up. But this time, instead of being on opposite sides of the map, these two forces will clash. But that should give Oblivion Knight room to pick up at least one bounty, maybe two.
30 seconds to battle.
This is a good read from Dire. They say, you know what, they went invading us 4 last time, but if we're ready with 5, we can kill them. The thing is, will Radiant actually invade this time, though, or will it be on the more defensive end?
Oh, they're heading up. They're looking to invade. They will have the high ground, and there's kind of like a yin-yang thing going on right now, as both teams kind of move to take each other's runes.
Oh, yeah, this is hilarious.
Yeah. Potato Farmer going to head back up into the high ground, but going to run right into Radiant's team. Rolling Boulder in from Hype, but he's caught in the avalanche, taking a lot of damage. Actually blocked by the Brewmaster, so he will fall. First blood going the way of Vel. They'll turn their attention on a Zelfer, who has to TP out, and he cannot make it. Kill going the way of the Ogre Magi. The Bounty Rune down bot still available, so it's not even going to be runes in favor of Radiant team. So you just lose 2 heroes from the get-go.
It's good for the Razor, I guess. That's all I can really say about that one. Otherwise, it's a pretty bad situation for the Radiant team.
Yeah, Shoeless Joe just with that disappointment of heading onto the high ground thinking maybe there's still a bounty rune, but Zap saying, nope, I picked it up. Gotta love those free teleport scrolls.
Yeah, they're nice. I actually like that the TP scrolls are on cooldown immediately. It adds a new dynamic to the early game that I'll probably be sick of in 3 months, but I like it now.
Yeah, you just can't immediately teleport and get your wards up, so it leads to interesting fights like the one we just saw.
This ability, the new Unstable Current on Razor, I think is very good. It's very, very annoying for an offlaner to deal with the new Unstable Currents. Speaking of offlaners.
Avalanche onto the Brewmaster. Brewmaster taking a lot of damage. He does have Stout Shield and Mango, so some innate regen. In the mid lane, Riles taking some damage. But gonna go ahead back off. Hype is here to help out. Was that a pop salve? Yeah, pop salve onto Riles. Arbor, Ogre Magi just has a lot of base regen and just fairly tanky, so you know, that harass onto him does about nothing.
He took the range creep with him, but it looks like, yeah, Vel will get that range creep last hit. Very important last hit.
So
range
down
creeps are definitely important.
bot, it's Tidehunter v Razor, which is going to be hard for the Tidehunter to get a lot of farm with Anchor Smash, and if he gets too close to the wave, Oblivion Knight can definitely steal some nice damage. And up top, Brewmaster, This is actually a little bit troublesome because they do have plenty of damage and disable in this top lane.
Hypothetically, Brewmaster's time in the lane where he can do well is when Ogre Magi is camping out mid lane. The problem is, even when Ogre Magi was mid lane, Brew couldn't get anything against the Tiny and the Wyvern.
Yeah, he actually moves forward, throws out the Drunken Haze, but Potato Farmer is here to toss up a creep. Oh no, he tossed it back to Arbiter, so that's rough. Tiny still has fairly small mana pool, so you can't do things like that all the time.
Yeah,
but it's
Tiny,
better mana pool than before.
Stats. See, he's a better int pool, but overall the agility is rough. He has no agility.
No agility, sad day.
You click over, you can just see 0.
That feel when no base armor.
It's literally 0.
Oh, Zelfer caught, trying to contest that hard camp, but he is taking a lot of damage in the process. Stun comes up from Arbiter, tree throw from Tiny, and can they land? Oh, nope, he's going to be able to pop salve, and he will be fine. First blood happens down, well, not first blood, but a kill on Tidehunter happens down bot in the meantime, so... Yeah, we chose the wrong offlaner.
Yeah, we chose the wrong struggling offlaner that's been dying a lot in lane.
What are you gonna do? It's a toss of the coin.
It's like the first time I haven't been paying attention to Tide all game. Like other times, like Tide's dropping low, well, he's gonna die, but this time
it's
actually
a Tidehunter. But with Earth Spirit and Jakiro, they had enough.
Yeah, Razor is definitely one of those cords that he's pretty good against offlaners. He showed off on that lane. He's pretty good at killing offlaners.
Oh, they want to stop him from getting this bounty rune. But Zap says, nuh-uh. I have Kraken Shell. I'll pick it up. But Arbiter able to invade and steal Radiant's top bounty, so 3 runes go in the way of Dire.
If you're Brewmaster in a situation, you almost just want to grab both bounty runes, but instead you get 0. 0 bounty runes.
0 bounty runes. And still no farm. Sad day for him. He's going for that 1-1-1 skill build, so plenty of options available for him. Radiant supports looking to head back to the mid lane. Puck is a hard hero to kill. Oh, Zelfer. Nice body block from Potato Farmer. Is able to snag that kill.
This is really rough. Before, when you're playing offlane and you're struggling, you can buy an Iron Talon and that kind of be able to get out of your situation. But now that's not an option. There is no Iron Talon.
There is no Iron Talon at all. Nice boulder kick. Velveville taking some damage. Does not have orb up for another 4 seconds, but able to head onto the high ground.
That's still a good punish, though, from Radiant. Like, the thing is, when you're playing against Puck and you notice Orb is on cooldown, that's where you can punish Puck. And they punish Puck. They made him take a lot of damage for using Orb offensively.
Still a sad day for this Brewmaster. He really wants to get level 6 and have a reasonable timing on Blink Dagger, but we're not going to see Blink for a long time.
No. At least the Brewmaster has Jakiro with him now. That is help.
That is help, and Blood Ninja taking a lot of damage. Go ahead, throw out some shards, and try to stick up, but taking a lot. Oh, toss on the Jakiro Potato Farmer with the kill.
Gets tossed in one.
Oh, Zelfer in trouble. Arbiter coming in with that ignite. But Tiny not in avalanche range. And we see the TP responses from the Radiant supports here to back up the Brewmaster.
Yeah, Thyra was not on the same page there. That was a potential kill, but I don't think they coordinated the Ogre Fire Blast with the Tiny Toss, and as a result, that's not a kill there.
Haste Rune picked up from Vel, so with Dream Coil online, could look to fight.
Let's see here. Looking over our last hits, Storm is on top, Razor a little behind. They're slightly ahead of their Dire counterparts, which is kind of what we saw last game, where the Enigma stole our bikes. They had a better CS in their core heroes compared to the Free Agent Gamer stack. Once again, just like last game, Free Agent Gamer stack, they have more kills.
Now, something that is interesting is while Riles and Velvevel are pretty close, Velvevel has a lot more levels.
Yeah. It's because I believe... I mean, Earth Spirit's been here a little bit more than the Ogre Magi has. As a result, you get a little bit of experience out from you. Velvevel's done a pretty good job of actually securing his range creeps. Those not being denied is pretty big for his experience.
Oh no, Tiny has level 6. That's pretty rough for this Brewmaster, who is only level 4. Now, Dire supports heading mid. Riles does have Ball Lightning available. Orb forward from Vel. And yeah, that's just going to be a Ball Lightning out, but that still gives a lot of lane control for this Puck.
That's a very hard kill. In a sense, on Puck, you almost... Oh, wait, top lane.
And
Never
up
mind,
top,
line's
yeah, Potato Farmer's just going to go ahead and stick up. And nope, not going to be able to get the Avalanche or anything. Down bot, Oblivion Knight, sitting high and mighty at the top of the last hit chart.
He's starting to chip away at that T1 tower as well. And currently, Tryzyn have a lot of problem actually contesting that.
Oh, Puck finds a regen rune. Is stunned up by the Earth Spirit, but we'll be able to pick that up. Oh, that ward is immediately spotted out by the Ogre Magi. Arbobur being very vigilant. Oh, I've been adding an R to this guy's name, Abobur. Well, you gotta have a name like that, man.
It's okay.
I'm not one to talk.
Want.
I'm not one to talk. I'm Tryzyn, so whatever. Now, Zelfer moving forward still does not have Primal Split. Is caught in the Avalanche. Will we see the toss back? We will not. Rolling Boulder in from Hype, but he's tossed up in the air, taking damage. Will kick back Tiny, and there's your Ignite onto the Brewmaster. Third death of the game for the Brew, and Avalanche touches out the Earth Spirit too. That is no bueno for Enigma. Stole our bike.
This is good because this is one of the key steps to seeing a game number 3. And I think that's what the people at home want to watch, and the free agent gamer stack want to see. For people who do not want game 3 is the Radiant team right now.
Yeah, I mean, going to game number 3 would be pretty nice. I mean, that's not... I mean, I want to see it. I want to see it. Like, the integrity of watching good Dota wants me to see it. But at the same time, I've been up since 6 this morning, and I don't know, man. I'll try to stay awake for your guys' sake.
By the way, the scoreboard on the top of the screen is incorrect. It is Radiant who won game 1 and not Dire.
Yeah, that is... We are kind of having some weird scoreboard things.
I think they're just not updating it. I could be wrong, but... Oh, Dire's power bottom. Play from time.
Oh, yeah, well played from Zap. No Hype in the mid lane. We do see Abobur coming around. Illusory Orb will miss. And you do need that damage to kill him. Now, Primal Split is available.
I'm surprised already are kind of just letting this T1 tower mill take so much damage. It's still the most important T1 tower for the Radiant to defend, and it's just dead almost.
Yeah,
the Dire can almost easily get it now.
It's not even in deny range, which is tough. Radiant could be looking to defend now. There are 3 heroes here.
The Radiant are even calling a retreat right now. Or are they?
It's hard to tell. Some people do it sarcastically. Some people are serious. But Vel gonna go ahead and move forward with the Bloodlust, trying to get the damage. We'll throw out that Dream Coil only on Razor. And Zelfer moving in, trying to find that Primal Split. They ping out the Winter Wyvern. The tower will fall to Dire. TP from Blood Ninja is able to get out, and Zelfer will get off that Primal Split. But here comes the Ravage from Zap, looking to get the kill on this Razor. Avalanche as well. Oblivion Knight will fall to the Tidehunter. Boulder kick. Tossed out, trying to find anyone. Tiny thrown into that tornado, but it will not save the Jakiro. He'll fall. And Zelfer, out of Primal Split, is going to die as well to the Tiny. So Potato Farmer with a nice double kill. And they get the T1.
That was a bit of a disaster for the Radiant team. They lost their T1 medal, they didn't deny it, and they lost 3 heroes, including your Razor, who would force off of a free farm to die. So at least Storm didn't die there, so you have that going for you. Storm will be going for a first item Bloodstone, but he's pretty far from that still. He has a Voidstone, which is about 1/5 of the way there.
Yeah, even an item like Bloodstone can be rough in a losing situation, because if you start dying more and more, that Bloodstone is not the greatest of investments.
Oh yeah, it's I mean, ideally with the Bloodstone, you get the Bloodstone and then you snowball, but that's also easy.
And Dream Coil, able to pick off this Earth Spirit. Good kill for Vel.
Yeah,
it just fights 1v3, yeah.
Wow, I did not expect that. That is a really good play from them right there.
Stupendous.
Did he change his game
Riles?
from game number 1, or he's it from mid player?
Oh, Winter's Curse, just use so Blood Ninja can get out. But Winter's Curse, fairly powerful skill with a decently short cooldown, to be honest.
They tried going on Storm bottom, but it is a Storm.
Yeah, it's a Storm Spirit. He'll be able to ball lightning out.
They didn't even have the Ravage yet on Tidehunter, so there's no way for that to happen.
Now, both teams tied in terms of towers, but Radiant losing their mid T1 definitely hurts worse.
Absolutely. I mean, if we're being honest here, I think the Radiant T1 tower is probably the most important T1 tower of either side, actually. It's a pretty important spot for map control for this Radiant team. But it's okay, they have their other towers at the very least, so they don't really they haven't really lost control of their jungle just yet. They are getting vision over the Radiant Ancients, which is actually stacked ones, but... Actually, I think the Dire should smoke up and clear that Ancient stack. Ideally right now, you want to get an Ancient stack. I mean, both Tiny and Tidehunter have the ability to clear it quite easily. You can go kill your own Dire Ancients and then smoke up and kill the Radiant Ancients. That's huge for your economy. It's almost even worth losing a T1 tower for that.
Yeah, Radiant, they're looking to just take this T1, get a little more gold going on their team, throughout their team, because being down by 3k at 13 minutes is definitely not where you want to be.
Under attack.
But is Dire looking to fight this? We do have a TP coming up from Abober and the Puck. Yeah, Radiant just looking to back off, so we're not able to finish off that T1. Zelfer's going to be... Blink Dagger's a long way coming for this guy.
Right now, the Radiant team, they're in a pretty rough spot. They have some time window based heroes, namely the Razor, who isn't really having the impact he wants right now. He is going for a Sanjin Yasha, so he will eventually start progressing into larger and more significant items, but at the current time, he isn't getting the impact after the laning phase that you want from a Razor.
I think the great thing about this Ogre Magi pickup, not only because it gives you a lot of damage in team fights, but you also get Bloodlust for Tiny, which is just huge.
Tide is clearing Ancients, and that makes me very, very happy.
I know,
That
you
is
drew a lot
very
of circles around that.
It's very important to me. This is economic gain for Tidehunter.
Let's stop what we're watching and just look at Tidehunter attempt to clear Ancients. He's actually just going to back off.
So the stalker creeps, though. If those creeps are anything but the purple ones, then
Radiant, they throw out a scan, they find Blood Ninja, but Blood Ninja with Winter's Curse available is kind of a hard kill to get right now.
Nothing for you.
Abober found his level 6, so multicast is available. Yeah, that T1, it's gonna die. Can Dire deny it again, though? That's the question. They did get a really nice deny down bot off of Zap's Tide. Avalanche comes out, Oblivion Knight dropping low, multicast with that Ignite. Rolling Boulder out, and Shoeless Joe should be able to escape as well.
They did lose the Razor and defend the tower, though. That's fine. Sure, you missed a support kill or two, but that's very insignificant in comparison to defending your tower, killing Razor, and likely killing the enemy top T1 tower as well.
Yeah, and now, Dire team, they can take this T1 up top. Brewmaster doesn't have a whole lot of mana to fight with, so even if he heads up top, Primal Split isn't going to be available.
They need to just farm the Blink on Brewmaster. He's 150 gold off. There's no point fighting there and risking what little gold he has.
Yeah, he should be able to find it in this mid lane. He's going to head back.
Dire actually is losing their T2 bottom.
Blink forward from Vel, just trying to harass Riles back, but he'll go ahead, Vortex the fuck back in.
It's a finished Veil now on Puck, along with the Blink Dagger. Puck is doing pretty well item-wise. Looking over to net worth, she's second in net worth, behind her ally Tiny.
Yeah, and Potato Farmer has that completed Sanjin Yasha, going for a Shadow Blade next. So that will give a lot of initiation power to free agent gamers.
And they're slowly working on the Ancients again. Now Tiny and Ogre, they're having to try at it.
I think once you move Tiny over, that it no longer is slow. I mean, look at that.
There we go. That's the kill.
That's raw damage. That's a lot of damage.
He's going for a Shadow Blade, so he'll have a Shadow Blade and a Sanjin Yasha very soon.
Yeah.
He'll be a pretty threatening core at that point. And the Radiant team, they don't really have the detection, so they don't have like preemptive Dust or Sentis ready for that sort of play.
Now, this could end badly for Enigma if they keep 2 heroes down here, but nope. Storm Spirit and Jakiro just going to go ahead and retreat. But that will mean they lose their last remaining T1.
That's a pretty dead tower right there.
Nice sad face. That's well done.
Tower is very sad from that play right there.
Yeah, and Radiant, they're not even able to get the T1 mid. And Dream Coil onto the Razor, trying to reduce his armor down, trying to finish him off. Macrofire does come out, but we get a huge Ravage on the 3. Oblivion Knight will fall. And that gives Dire Team a lot more room to work with. Gonna go ahead and toss the creep onto Shoeless Joe. Potato Farmer with a clutch avalanche. And should be able to finish off his hero. Yep. Double kill for the Tiny.
Tiny is quite literally gathering no moss right now. Sanjin Yasha, now Shadowblade. He's 7-0 and 5, and he's a rolling boulder.
Okay, enough with the tiny puns.
2 tiny puns.
But can't you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Yeah, last time
Just
he got
kidding,
the tiny. I only made
more
one
tiny puns.
This time I made 2 tiny puns.
There you go.
I'm terrible.
Yeah, you are. And you know what else is terrible? Radiant's chances of defending against this push on their T2. Never mind, Dire, they're just going to back off.
At the very least, Storm is a Bloodstone. Thanks to the
yeah, Storm does have a Bloodstone.
Yeah, it's 14 charges at the start. That's 2 more charges. So he can afford to lose some. He probably shouldn't, but he can afford to. Radiant, they are smoking. They want to add.
I like this play a lot. Dire, they've backed off. That means they most likely split up on the map. Maybe you can find a pickoff. But just looking at their vision, they did see the Puck up top, but Puck is a hard kill to get.
Dire's doing a good job pushing up the lanes. I mean, they have Ogre just pushing bottom lane out. They know Radiant's up to something.
Yeah, and Radiant, they actually head towards the camps. So, they're not going to find anyone. Zap is kind of positioned back, but he's a Tidehunter with a mech. So, that's tough as well. Potato Farmer, Shadow Bladed up, scouting out this Radiant offensive. And yeah, just getting some good reconnaissance on Radiant's movements.
Right now, Brewmaster is forced to keep bottom. The Radiant, they were unsuccessful on that smoke right there. And they need to do something. I mean, they're not really losing the economical game that badly, but the Dire will eventually win out in the long game if the rate is going. That is a bit of a concern for them.
Yeah, Tiny definitely a faster farmer than Storm or Razor, so that's no bueno. And even Puck with Illusory Orb is able to push out lanes fairly well.
In addition, Tidehunter is one of those very threatening late game team fighters. Ravage is just a very insurmountable ability, unless you have a lot of BKBs. Right now, Radiant team, they don't have any BKBs. They have one relatively soon on Razor, but Storm's not even building one right now. He's going for Kaya instead. Speaking of Storm, though, he may get a solo kill bottom.
Yeah, Ogre Magi's soloed out. He's going to go for it. And that should be a dead Ogre Magi. I kind of want to switch to mid lane because something's about to happen mid. Yeah, Potato Farmer gets the kill onto the Brewmaster, so Radiant, they're just going to go ahead and disengage. Riles picks up the kill on the Ogre Magi, but, you know, out of those 2 kills, it's definitely in favor of Dire, so... But at least it's something. You're giving more Bloodstone charges to the Storm. And the T2 mid is dropping. Yeah. And here comes the Ravage from Zap, singling out the Razor, trying to back off. Nice boulder kick from Earth Spirit. Blocks 2, but Dreamcoil will snap. Jakiro and Earth Spirit will fall. Tossed up onto Oblivion Knight, trying to retreat to the safety of his high ground. And that Razor is fast, should be able to back off. And Riles gets the jump on Aboburst, should be able to finish him off. So But there is a TP coming out from Winter Wyvern, gets some multicast from Fire Blast, and we'll just have to jump out.
That was pretty rough for the Radiants. They didn't lose their Razor at the very least, but that's once again 3 heroes dead, T2 tower dead. That's a rough time for them right there.
And Potato Farmer Shadow Bladed back up, looking to go again. I think at this point, in Radiant, you need to start plopping down sentries everywhere.
But the thing is, they can't really afford that. Their supports are very poor right now. There's 1 sentry and a dust on Earth Spirit, and there's not even. There's only one. There was 1 sentry on Jakiro. It was used to D-ward. They are cash strapped right now, though.
Just looking at the farm difference between Earth Spirit and Ogre Magi. I mean, like, to be honest, it is an Ogre Magi. He can farm decently with Ignite, but that just hurts my eyes.
The thing is, even then, the little bit of economy that the Radiant team has is going to be struggling on their supports because Wyvern has a gem now. Those little observer wars he placed up, they will die. They will die a very gruesome death.
Gruesome death of getting breathed on by a dragon, 1,000-year-old dragon.
Oh, they placed a ward right under a dire sentry as well. It's another ward down.
Plus 100 gold going the way of Vel. Oblivionite trying to back off. I mean, Razor's pretty fast with phase boots and Sandu and Yasha, so he is able to escape.
Could have orbed in there and used either Yule's or the Dreamcoil on Razor, but that, without any backup, that's on the more suicidal end, so that's a pretty bad play. I decided to do nothing, which was the correct play there.
Bad news getting worse. Potato Farmer almost at BKB.
Ooh. That's hard.
Was that another rock pun? Unintentionally?
Unintentional,
like, I don't even know
actually.
with you anymore.
That was unintentional.
Okay, fair enough. Potato Farmer is Shadow Bladed back up, looking to scout out Radiance a little more. They do have a sentry in the mid lane, but he's looking to get the jump onto this Brewmaster and is able to find the kill. Godlike streak for Potato Farmer. And when your Brew's not safe, one of your tankiest heroes on Radiant's lineup, no one is safe.
He's 0, 6, and 0. That's not what you want to see on your primary team player. It's a pretty bad look. Run over to the primary team player on the Dire. He's 119. That's pretty solid.
Yeah. That's a lot of assists. Down goes the T2 for the puck, and Dire, they're not looking to quit. They're going to head right into high ground. Like, sure, you can bother our T2. We'll look to take your T3. Smoke up from Winter Wyvern, just looking to get on the back lines, try to make their numbers look thinner than they actually are. And here comes the jump from Storm Spirit, deals huge amounts of damage to this Tiny. How much mana does this guy have? Oh, the Storm has a regen rune. That's actually problematic. And Zopher trying to go for that split, but he is stunned out. Nice. Winter Wyvern first onto the Brewmaster, taking a lot of damage. But Zap dropping low will fall here. Oblivionite trying to chase down Blood Ninja, but then Vortex in, canceling the TP, and Riles is able to snag that kill. And Snapple, Abobird just trying to back off. And he is actually able to TP out, so well played from him. But
that was definitely a kill on Ogre Magi, but Brewmaster had both Boulder available, I believe Cyclone available on his Pandas, and neither was used, so Brewmaster's having a rough game right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think like just that early death followed up by 2 more deaths in the landing phase, that can kind of put you on a little bit of a tilt. But overall, he had a fairly good split Earth and was able to turn the team fight around. You know, ultimately, something Dire has been utilizing to great extent has been the Ravages from Zap, and that Ravage in particular didn't really do all that much.
The thing is, if you're Radiant, the question is, do you win that team fight if Storm doesn't have a regen rune there? Storm used, what, 4,000?
That is a good question. He did
probably 5,000
a lot of damage.
That was more mana than you should expect. I mean, you can have like any amount of items and you won't have that much mana, basically.
No, Potato Farmer Shadow Bladed up in the mid lane, and he's going to go immediately onto the hero. Oblivionite going to go ahead and BKB up. Your dragon is down. BKB from Potato Farmer. Blink forward from Vel. Vel does have Dreamcoil available. We'll get on to 2. Winter's Curse used to stall out this Razor, turning their attention to keeping Potato Farmer alive. But here comes the jump forward from Hype. looking to get onto anyone's elf or trying to focus down this Ogre Magi. He will die to Riles, feeding the Bloodstone charges. And Storm going to back off, try to group up on some mana. Oblivion Knight trying to throw out what he can. Huge jump onto the Tiny. Double kill for Riles, ending the godlike streak from Potato Farmer. Blood Ninja in case, but it's over for the Winter Wyvern. He falls, and can Dyer completely get out? It looks like Puck and Tidehunter are your only survivors. So excellent fight for Radiant team. Storm Spirit up to 19 Bloodstone charges. Absolutely terrifying.
Riles is having a very, very good series. I mean, game number 1 is OD, played absolutely amazingly. Game number 2 on the Storm Spirit, he is putting the team on his back. He is saying, you know what? We can beat one of the favorite teams from the EST Monday division. We can beat the free agent gamers deck. And right now, they're having a pretty good showing. They're starting to come back now. They're only down by 2k net worth. This isn't that bad for them.
I'm a little bit sad that these are the playoffs in a way, because this is a very strong matchup from these two teams in particular. I kind of want to see more, but one of these teams gonna get eliminated.
One thing I've noticed, though, it seems like, no offense to the EST Sunday teams, but it seems like the EST Monday teams, they're really showing up in the playoffs the way the Sunday teams just aren't.
Oh, dude, come on, man. EST Sunday, they're our loyal viewers. We've been casting their games for a while, but I gotta admit, EST Monday, pretty exciting showing from them. A little bit more balanced matchups, I feel. And free agent gamer stack gonna go ahead and move into the Roche pit. Getting an Aegis on Potato Farmer is going to be huge. And Radiant, they don't know anything about this. They do throw out a scan, but it's a bit too late. Oh, they smoke up. Maybe they want to head into the Roche pit. Storm Spirit might look to zip forward. Finds the kill on Blood Ninja. I'm not even sure where that happened. Aegis will fall. Here comes the Ravage from Zap, connecting onto 3. Down goes the Earth Spirit. Oblivion Knight. BK beat up. We do see the buyback from Winter Wyvern. Riles trying to chase down this Tidehunter. There's your Dream Coil. It will snap. Oblivion Knight still have that BKB up. And Storm Spirit jumps forward, trying to track down this Tiny. But instead, they turn their attention to the Puck, who should be able to get out safely. If Winter Wyvern dies here, that's a dieback. Potato Farmer trying to fight against the Storm Spirit, but is dropping low and is gone. He's dead. But that's your Aegis popped. And he will be looking to rejoin the fight.
Radiant should be able to retreat here. Maybe losing the Jakiro, but it's only Jakiro. It's not that important for that.
It's Jakiro. It's better than losing someone like Razor. But Potato Farmer still... Oh, the Avalanche misses. Excellent ball lightning from Riles.
Why Storm was able to escape there? See, it's all about chain reactions, right? Because Winter Wyvern died before the fight in the mid lane, he gave the gem to Storm. Because Storm had a gem there, he saw the Tiny coming. Because he saw Tiny coming, he doesn't die, and the game is good for him. Notice the game inches.
True Sight turns out pretty good. It's a pretty good thing.
There's a Hex down on Puck, but I feel like Puck still wants an Aghanim Scepter. I feel like that the BKB piercing break on Razor is kind of a big deal this game.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in the last team fight. Like, Puck threw down a Dream Coil, Razor was BKB'd. He's like, I don't care about this. Just walks out of it.
Razor's one of Razor's big strengths is the ability to move around and do stuff. And Puck Aghanims is quite literally the ability that doesn't allow you to move around and do stuff. Like, it's literally the ability that doesn't allow you to move around and do stuff.
This hero moves around and does stuff. Now, speaking of heroes who are moving around and doing stuff, smoke up from Radiant Team. They're going to find Blood Ninja. He throws out the Winter's Curse, stopping the Brewmaster split, but he will fall, and Riles snags the Ogre Magi. So you're down your 2 supports for free agent gamer stack, and you just have to surrender this T2. Of course, Wyvern has no buyback, having used it in the last fight, and no buyback for the Ogre Magi either. He just can't afford it. And Radiant, they can look to pressure high ground now.
It's rough for Dime. They've been in command of this most of this game, but now their high ground is being beaten upon. And their hero's dead, don't buyback.
Yeah, Enigma stole our bikes, just able to outmaneuver free agent gamer stack in these team fights.
So the AoE the gem goes to this little line here, for those wondering.
Zelfer moving forward, we'll just go ahead and blink out. They get some nice damage on the range racks, and with the T3s taken, can turn their attention to the shrines. Maybe look for better Roche positioning, but not committing to barracks. I think that's smart. With Winter Wyvern and Ogre Magi backup, you just don't want to fight.
Yeah, I can now go to the shrines. Nice little easy, soft targets compared to the barracks. It's not in the high ground, so it's a lot safer to go after those compared to the barracks. So regardless, if you're a Radiant team, you're pretty happy with this. Now the Aegis is down, Tiny Moment possesses it, the gem is on your side, Storm has it. Speaking of Storm, 23 Bloodstone charges, 10-second BKB. He is balling out of control.
Come on, man, use that. What was it, last game or earlier this game? I don't even know. I don't think there was a Storm Spirit last game.
That was a tiny pun. Rolling out of control.
Oh, rolling out of control, balling out of control. Fair enough. Potato Farmer is getting close to that Assault Cuirass. That'll be a great item to rally around. It makes Razor's time a little bit harder, but the true threat is the Storm Spirit. So, entire team just going to go ahead and smoke up, and Free Agent, they want to kill on the Storm Spirit. But how do you stop them? Where's the lockdown for it? I mean, you have Hex on Puck, but is that enough? Radiant, they're smoked up as well. And it's going to be a clash of the titans as Potato Farmer moves forward and pops the smoke. They're going to go ahead and dusk a little bit too late. Zap jumps forward with a huge Ravage, catching on 3. They take down the Earth Spirit and Jakiro immediately. Winter's Curse is applied to Razor, but Hex onto the Storm Spirit. Can Free Agent focus him down? He's going to go ahead BKB, turn around, look to get the damage onto the Ogre Magi. He forces him down. Blood Ninja with a nice heal, trying to survive. Zap, he's dropping low. Throws down another Gush, and Razor, Oblivion Knight dropping low, will fall here. Tidehunter still living, blinks out. Impressive play from him, and Zelfer will die. And Potato Farmer with a double kill. Storm Spirit, the only hero who lives. For Radiant. Oh, Badger, did I lose you again? Okay, looks like I lost Badger again. My co-caster will be rejoining me shortly. But yeah, that was a very impressive team fight for Free Agent Gamerstag. We saw Tidehunter just working wonders as he blinked across that fight and was able to stay alive. Of course, the supports for both teams died fairly early, so we got to see a little bit of the interaction with the cores, and, you know, Razor just wasn't able to do that much, you know, with the short link he had, and Storm Spirit eventually had to back off. He could only focus down the Ogre Magi, and Tiny is just too scary of a hero to deal with 1v1. He's going to jump forward, gets huge amounts of damage, looking to pick off this Winter Wyvern, and he will be able to find the kill. Guardian Greaves not enough to save the life. But they lose their Earth Spirit. Vel with that kill. Potato Farmer just has way too much damage, so it is ultimately just a trade of supports. I think either team is kind of fine with it. Looks like the gold is slightly in favor of Enigma Stolar Bikes having that small lead. And it's interesting, Radiant actually hasn't taken any shrines yet, despite being up by have taken a T3 in the mid lane. They kind of want that Roche positioning. I mean, Dire has shown interest in the Roshan. Getting an Aegis onto Tiny is huge. Roche will be, well, at least we'll find out when Roche responds fairly shortly. Now, Zelfer has been recovering, is 0-7, so has died one more time since we had last taken a look at him, but he has 7 assists, which is fairly good. Still not exactly where you want to be at the bottom of the charts as Beastmaster, or as Brewmaster, so maybe he'll see a comeback, but overall we do see the true titans of this game. Tiny with 15 kills, 1 death. Storm Spirit, who hasn't died yet. We've seen how defensively Riles has played, but he's not defensive when it comes to supports. He's able to pick them off in team fights and just make it so that the Ogre Magi and the Winter Wyvern are just offering less and less utility. Potato Farmer with a haste and bloodlust. Shadowblade will end. Looking to focus down this Razor. He is hexed up. Here comes the Ravage from Zap. Can they take down this Razor? Yes, they can. That's absolutely huge. Zelfer trying to back off, not committing to the Primal Split. He will fall as well. Unstoppable for Potato Farmer with yet another kill. Now, we do see Riles actually able to split push up top, get some damage. Did take out the range racks mid as well. So Storm Spirit at least finding some room. Lincoln is popped, but, you know, we see his huge mana pool just able to jump out. Potato Farmer's not giving up, though. He wants to hunt this guy down. Can he get the avalanche? No, he can't. Another ball lightning from Riles, and he's in the clear. Still no deaths on the Storm Spirit, leading in the net worth charts. Just amazing display of control on the Storm. Now, Zap is looking to get a Rod of Atos. That is an interesting choice. Just trying to look to focus down heroes like the Razor, like the Brewmaster, just keep them in place. It's a decent item, but that does stop him from getting something like a Refresher or maybe a Shiva's Guard for a little while. And so let's go ahead and take a look. Roshan is a little bit of... yeah, it's a decently timed Roshan, so Radiant will have that available shortly. We do see that level 25 talent on Storm Spirit just creating auto remnants in his wake, and man, what a mana pool. That is crazy. What's the other talent on that? Overload pierces spell immunity. That's, I guess, throwing down more remnants. I mean, we have seen it, especially in that fight in the bot lane when Free Agent Gamers was approaching on that T3. He was able to just keep zipping back and forth and ultimately just wither down the health on these heroes. I mean, with the exception of Guardian Greaves, they don't have a lot of burst skill, so Riles just trying to be as annoying as possible, zipping in, silencing, but he's been stunned out by a multicast. Zelfer going for that primal split. Riles taking a lot of damage, trying to focus down the Winter Wyvern. He will find the kill, zips out. Potato Farmer can't fight him. Cyclone up on the Tiny, and Radiant team looking to reposition. Abo Burst stuns out the Razor, looking to back off. We do see the buyback from Winter Wyvern. And with that force, Radiant team, they may be happy with this, looking to back off. Nice blink out from Zelfer, avoids being caught in that terrible machine, death machine that is Free Agent right now. Tiny is still absurd, and he's almost at his level 25 talent as well, so it'll be interesting to see what he chooses to pick up. And looks like my co-caster has reconnected to the game. Maybe he'll be joining us on chat shortly. Yeah, there he is. Hi, Badger. How are you?
The Tiny is farming that computer right now. That's the issue. He is on some mass level potato farming.
Yes, he is.
And my computer's involved in that, clearly.
I made the Irish Gold last time we casted. I made the Irish Gold joke last time we casted Free Agent Gaming, so I feel like I can't make it this time. That would be unfair.
You can make it. You can make it. You can do whatever you want, Doug.
Yeah. Potatoes, they're gold.
Looks like Tiny, he was considering going for Shiva's Guard, but instead, actually, he's going to go for... What's he going to go for?
Satanic, it looks like, okay. Yeah. I kind of like the Satanic choice. I mean, we have seen that he gets into these fights, he's able to focus heroes down, but at some point, he just goes through his health pool. You have a lot of damage on the Storm Spirit, so by having access to something like a Satanic, you can man-fight the Razor or the Storm and just heal it back up.
The thing is, Satanic loses a lot of its value if you're under static link. You need to actually output damage to really utilize the Satanic properly, and if you're under the static, the static link from the Razor, then you may have a lot of problems actually lifestealing enough to make the 6,000 gold purchase of Satanic really worth it.
Now, Dire, they throw out a scan. Radiant has not yet engaged into the Roche Pit, but Dire team, they might suspect this. Huge leap from Riles throws out the Shivas. Ice Path does miss. Oblivionite trying to just steal the damage from this Tiny. Zap force that forward at Bober. It looks like he's out of luck. Winter's Curse will land, and Brewmaster might actually be taken out of this fight. He will. Huge Ravage from Zap. They focus down the Earth Spirit. Dream Coil onto 2. Oblivion Knight and Shoeless Joe just kind of on the ropes. They get the multi-cast, and Oblivion Knight is... Ow, but you lose the Tiny. Triple kill for Riles. He's just going after one hero after another. Ultra kill as he slays the Tidehunter, and that exposes the gym. Only the puck gets out, and now Radiant team, they can look to finish off the melee racks mid. Just huge plays from Riles here.
Riles may be having the series of his life so far. This man has been playing extremely well these 2 games.
Well, we've seen what he likes. He likes int, core, mid heroes. Try to deny him that, because this man plays a scary OD, a scary Storm Spirit. Still no deaths on this guy. And with that many Bloodstone charges, when you finally kill him, he'll just be back up in no time at all. He's just able to jump into Dire's faces, just try to throw out incremental damage. He just does not care.
He's going to have a finished Bloodthorn as well now, so even his right-click damage is going to get more and more threatening in these fights, actually.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take out the Shrine. And now they have a lot of Roach control, if they so choose to go for it. And a Ward will spot out Potato Farmer. He'll go ahead and clear out with that Sentry. But Radiant, they have an idea of where Dire is.
Looks like Tiny actually will not be going for Satanic. He's going for an Orchid. This is,
just anything to disable the Storm Spirit, to be honest.
Exactly, yeah.
The Storm is the real threat in this game. I mean, Razor's been powerful, but the Storm Spirit, you've got to kill him. I mean, you just have to. If you want to win, you can't let him just ball out of control like he has been doing. See, look at that leap. He just has the mana pool, gets a godlike, just slays that Winter Wyvern, obliterates like 3/4 of his life pool. Like, that's insane. And now Radiant, they can head into the Roach Pit.
The Winter Wyvern is trying to buy a Force Staff, but Force Staff doesn't actually save you there. But then again, nothing will save you there.
Not really.
Not really escape from that one.
And Winter Wyvern does have buyback on cooldown for another 3 minutes, so this is just going to be an uncontested Roshan. Aegis going to the Storm Spirit, that's just so terrifying. He's even moved the Kaya out already, so we will see it. I mean, you couldn't even kill him once before. How are you going to kill him twice?
Radiant, they're smoking up, but they do not know about the Blink on Wyvern. It's good to throw them off, actually, if they don't expect it.
Tries to get the jump on Potato Farmer, but he does back off just in time. Look how fast his mana pool recharges.
That's a 31 Bloodstone charges and a bunch of other items for you right there.
And he's going to go ahead and get the zip onto Zap. But he's been hexed up. Can they finish him off? Pop that Aegis. No, he backs off just in time. Still surviving. Zap dropping low. Magnetized. Dream Coil does land on 2. Avalanche trying to fight down this Earth Spirit. They will get the kill. They pop the Aegis onto Storm Spirit. Melee racks are dropping low. And Riles with a new life zipping forward trying to find Potato Farmer, but he is Shadow Bladed up. They take the melee racks and stun onto the Brewmaster. There goes your Ravage. And Hex onto Storm Spirit. Can they finish him off a second time? Nice. Ice Path catches on 2, giving Storm Spirit the room to get out. Zelfer trying to fight back, kill the Tide. And we do see the buybacks come out from Ogre Magi and Puck. Maybe look to finally finish off this Storm Spirit. But nope, he's zipping out. And it looks like Jakiro is the sacrificial lamb as he dies here. But you don't lose the Storm. And that's the major thing right now. There are TPs coming out from Dire. They're Shadow Bladed up. They want to hunt down this Storm Spirit. Never mind, they're turning their attention to the Razor, the visible target. But Razor is so fast with Phase Boots and Sanjin Yasha, so he is fine. You still with me, Badger? Okay, looks like Badger disconnected again. But, you know, that was quite the display of team fight from both sides, I feel like. Despite being in a huge deficit, you know, free agents, they were able to fight the good fights, but they were not able to finish off the Storm Spirit, so we can just do crazy things like we see in the mid lane. Take down Zip, but he's been Winter Cursed, he's been hexed up, stunned. He just BKBs and rolls out. And how do you stop him? He finds an Arcane Rune. Absolutely absurd. I'm curious to just see who he takes out next. It's just a ticking time bomb. And you have no buyback on the Tidehunter for another 6 minutes. You have to wait the full minute as he responds. But fortunately for Free Agent Stack, the side lanes are pushed out enough where it's going to be hard for Radiant to really pressure the racks. They're going to have to push mid and then move onto the side lane. And Free Agent, they need to fight now if they're looking to fight. You don't have Jakiro yet. They throw out an Avalanche, but it does not connect on Oblivion Knight. They'll go ahead and Fire Blast him, but he just backs off. Zip forward from Riles, just trying to throw out as many static remnants as he can. Jakiro will lay down the Ice Path, does not connect, but, oh, he missed the Liquid Fire. And Tree is tossed. Oblivion Knight moving forward. He's been multicasted again, caught in that avalanche, but this Razor is absolutely tanky. Gets the static link. Potato Farmer walks off. Shivas comes out from Riles, trying to focus down this Ogre Magi, who will find the kill. Split does come out from the Brewmaster. Potato Farmer just so low, has to back off, but they lose the T3 bot. Melee racks dropping low as well. Dire with the Fortify, but can they fight back? Tidehunter is back up, so Ravage is online. Winter Wyvern throws out another curse, but does not connect on anyone else. Just disables the Earth Spear for a little while longer. Zip forward from Riles, trying to focus down this Potato Farmer, but he's been saved. Ravage comes out from Zap. Can they finally finish off this Storm Spirit? And they do. They take him down for the first time in the game. Godlike Shriek will lose, but Ice Path connects onto 2. Potato Farmer dropping low, just trying to back off. You will lose the Tidehunter. He falls. Potato Farmer does get to the safety of the fountain, but Oblivion Knight moves forward, just trying to hit them a little bit. And they take the racks down bot. They move immediately to the top lane. Riles is already back up thanks to all those charges. Zips forward with Shivas. Brewmaster does fall, exposing the gem. And Puck will die. Never mind, he's been Yule's up, but not long for life as he dies to that static remnants. They rope in Potato Farmer, but a nice encase in ice from Blood Ninja keeps him alive a little while longer. Riles finishes off the Winter Wyvern in his own fountain. And Riles zips forward, but this is dangerous. He's been tossed up. And he'll go ahead BKB, but this did give the Jakiro room to take the melee racks. And that's Rain Tracks as well. That's going to be giving Radiant Team mega creeps. And I don't see how Free Agent can fight against that. They are able to stun out the Razor, dropping low, but Riles still has plenty of mana to fight with. Takes down the Tiny and the Winter Wyvern. And you have no buyback on Tiny for another 45 seconds. So that is GG. Well played. Impressive showing from Enigma Stolar Bikes as they win this series 2-0 and move on to the semifinals next week. Well played, gentlemen. What an exciting 2 games from both teams. Anyways, ladies and gents, I'm Tryzyn. I'm joined by my co-caster Badger Pablo, who is currently disconnected, but we try to cast Dota every night that we can, and we will definitely be casting more RD2L next week, so hopefully you can join us for that. Just go ahead, give us a follow. You can reach out to us on Twitter as well. As always, thanks for joining, guys, and we will see you next time. Peace out.